Hello, 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 everyone. Thank you for joining us. This is Elsa 932 on YouTube. We are here for Married at First Sight Austin. It is season 19. We're here for episodes 8, 9, and 10. Thank you so much for being here with us. We have 3 episodes to cover. We have lots of breaking news in the show to cover. And y'all know I'm a little tired right now because y'all had me up late last night watching Ready to Love. Okay, y'all have me diving into Ready to Love. I used to do it on Another Round with Jay and with Just Rhonda 01, and y'all like us to watch it together. So we're gonna be watching Ready to Love on Friday nights, and I think on Tuesday we'll do our recap. But also look out for Little Black Book 91 with his super panels covering Ready to Love. Okay, just letting y'all know what has been added to the roster of shows. Tomorrow we're going to have Married at First Sight UK. That is in its season 10. And we're having unsolicited advice as well. So, Trey, I got to have you, close your eyes because Ari's been a member for 3 months. And Ari has also blessed the channel with a super sticker. And Trey, you know what that means. You know what that
Okay.
means. We got to say
Oh,
thank you. You got to close your eyes. You got to
okay.
close your eyes. Because,
Okay.
yes, thank you, Ari. We say thank you around here with a little shake and a little jiggle. Okay? It's all over, Trey. You can look again. We do a shake and a jiggle around here to say thank you. Hey, High Vibe. Hey, Cheryl Davis. Glad to have you all here. So, Trey, what did you think about these few episodes this week?
You know, I am still trying to get to the used to the idea of maths doing these group drops I'm trying not to think about it this way. I'm not trying to come off negatively, but it just feels like this season, even though it's been pretty good, it feels very microwave, quick,
Oh,
get it done.
well, they got to. The holidays are coming.
I get it, but I'm too used to them actually cooking a meal with Mavs, and I
Oh,
miss my meals.
oh,
I
on the
miss my
gas
meals.
stove.
Yeah, they're already at the getaways. That's crazy.
Yeah, they're already at the getaways. They're already getting away. And some of them
Yeah,
looking like they want to get away from their partner.
yeah. Some of them probably need to, maybe. I don't know. Maybe, or the partner need to get away from them. Uh oh. Mm,
Ari said they overcooking the meal
a little bit, a little bit.
mm, in the crock pot. Okay. Okay.
Listen, even in a crock pot, you can cook for hours. But
Yeah, I like to
this,
put my crock pot on overnight.
this is microwave. This is put it on 2 and it's done. You put it on 2 minutes.
What
Put
is
it
the
on
sound
two
of that
minutes.
microwave? Give me the sound of that mic.
Is that what it feel like? You crank it up. I'm like, man, this okay. I mean, yeah, maybe it's just something we have to get used to the format, but it's also less episodes too in this season, so that's playing a factor as well.
Well, the less episodes is the lead up to the weddings. That's where I saw the less episodes because we would have at least 2 episodes, or we'd have like the second episode, we'll have the first wedding, and then another
Yeah.
set of weddings, and then it's like almost we had the 5th episode before everybody's at the honeymoon.
I am glad that they. That's only positive that I am walking away from that they did get through the weddings rather quickly than dragging them out like it used to.
Yeah,
I still miss those first 2 episodes to get to know the people first. So we'll have a good idea of, oh, wait a minute. They say they're gonna put them together, but I don't know if that's gonna work, especially when you get to know the person. Like, wait a minute. They say they're like this. Same thing happened last season when they had Carla. Yeah, you know, I'm sorry, but women didn't want to hear us. We knew Carla was gonna be a problem. From the moment when we met her. It's like, nah, this ain't gonna be good. But
well,
the guy that put it with was a problem too. So
we kind of know
well,
everybody they cast will be a problem. We kind of know.
that's true. That's true. But how much of a problem is always my question.
And we got some problems this episode drop. I do like the episode drop. I understand what you're saying. They're cooking you the meal in the microwave. It sounds like Chef Ramsay when he goes to do those restaurant revives and he realized that half the meal is microwaved and not actually cooked.
Mhm.
I understand what you're saying. But the thing is, if they do it this way, then I'm hoping that we could get 2 maps a year rather than 1.
Will they burn themselves out that way though?
Do Does it matter to me if they burn themselves out? No. Okay? That's production, that's editing, that's in the back. Okay? Okay? You're fine, Sam. And welcome, Letitia Edwards. I don't know if we've seen you here before, but welcome, welcome. Hope you do enjoy it here and cross country cruise her. High Vibe says, yes, I miss the experts going to their homes and then telling them they got picked. Yeah, that was quick. That's the microwave part. That's a cutout.
Mhm.
But I don't know if I wanted, like Ari said, 6 months long and only have 1 season a year.
It don't have to be okay. It it doesn't have to. Well, I guess that was always the gripe about them doing it 1 episode at a time. Yeah, 6 months. No, it lasts 6 months. Each season lasts about 3 months.
I know. It just
About
lasted
three
long, too
months.
long that we couldn't get. Well, it had to be more than that because
Cutting
we
it
had
down
more than 12 episodes.
an episode a week. Yes, you're right.
Right.
It
So,
usually end up about 20 episodes.
right.
It was like old school television. That's what it felt like. Old school television. If they could cut, if they could have cut half of that down to like 3 months, I would have been fine with it. This thing is about to be done in a month from when it started.
Ari said she counted it. She went back. Last 2 seasons was literally 6 months.
Okay, cool. Cut that down to 3 months. That'd have been a fine season for me.
Right. They
You
didn't
know, they give,
broadcast. Yeah.
and that
Now,
also extends it. That extends it during the holidays because they skip over that. It extends it. Cut it down. Start it in the spring. Let it last all the way to summer. A good 3 months. That's a good season, and you can still get 2 seasons per
right.
year.
Yes, spring and fall.
Yes, it'll work. 3 months at least. Stretch it to 3 months. Give me the episode. Stretch it to three
Hey,
months.
y'all need to extend Pastor Cal, Dr. Pia, and Dr. Pepper's contracts. But Ari has a question. Do you want to start with that couple, Chad and Belinda? She's like, why do we never see Chad and Belinda have a therapist visit? Do y'all think they're
Good
as solid
question.
as we make them out to be? Because I don't. I don't either. They ain't solid. I'm sorry, they ain't solid. Let's start. Let's start with Chad and Belinda. They ain't solid. At least the dog stopped barking at him this week. He said, finally, I could go to bed and the dog ain't barking at me. Okay? Finally. Finally. So, what do you think?
The most we have with them is the dog issue.
Really?
I mean, there's stuff you could try to pick out, but now we're picking. If you really look at their overall relationship, besides him, going off on the producers, what has really been the issue with them? They seem to be very lockstep to me. Now, is it beautiful in paradise? Nah, every couple gonna have their issues. But I think this couple is a lot more lockstep than we like. I think that's what's really going on here. It's a lot more lockstep than we like.
I ain't getting that.
I'll put it
Okay.
this. We are,
Chad,
I give you a prime example. We are seeing some issues with Chad that should probably pop up or should have popped up. The question is, why hasn't it? Because then I have to go back.
She's not a woman to speak up.
Is she? Well, that's true. It's weird. There's times where I would say that. Belinda, yeah, she's too used to, because that last minute she's too used to being quiet. Yet there's other times where she comes off and, no, I'm not going to be quiet anymore. Especially after you told her, no, I want you to speak up. I'm like, okay, for some odd reason, it's giving me that they get along a lot better and have a lot and agree on a lot more things that we may find as a problem is not a problem for her.
Right. I do see that. And for him too. Because this week what we did see, and we see it with another couple, y'all, when we get to it, we did see that we are doing more of what Belinda wants to do. Okay.
True.
Chad said, I ain't no beer drinker, but he is there at the beer tasting and they're
Yeah.
having that. They, before, in my recap, I said before they went fishing on the honeymoon like he liked, but he stayed on the boat for her when they went, on the private catamaran. Then they did archery like he likes. And now this time we're doing most of the stuff that she wants to do. So is it that it's swinging the other way so that they can kind of like balance it out? Or is it that Chad and Belinda are not doing certain things so they don't rock the boat? Because I think these two are just like, it's thin ice. I ain't trying to break through.
Maybe. Yeah, you know what? And they may have had a conversation with each other. We ain't about to be looking like a fool. like everybody else seem to do whatever. We're gonna like. That's why I said they seem to be in lockstep. Conversations were had. And honestly, like I said, the things we're seeing by Chad, it may pop up as somewhat red flags to us, but I'm gonna take a step back and take a look at it from the other side. He's acting like a lot of most men his age with his background act.
Well, we find out he's from Baton Rouge
Yeah. And he's acting like
originally.
and he acts like a man, white man from Baton Rouge.
I
Okay.
said, okay, it all fit into place. It all fit into place for me because I was like, okay, Chad, I keep riding for Texas, Texas, but it's this is Texas Hold'em. I said, but there's something different about Chad, and why he doing that gumbo? Why he doing that crawfish
He's
like
from
that?
Baton Rouge. It makes perfect sense. He's from Baton Rouge. That's a different type there. That's a different type. But it makes sense to me what he's saying and how he's acting. Let's keep it real. Out of the small things we've been pointing out, he hasn't done anything detrimental. We've just been pointing out things like, I don't know if that's going to work. Like him wanted to upgrade her reign so quickly. Is he trying to hold some type of financial control over her? That was one of the first main things we saw. Also, some of his like viewpoints on things, or could he potentially have anger outbursts, this and that, third. So those things we pointed out, but where has it been? We haven't seen it. Like I said, that whole producer thing, I'm not going to lie to you. I probably would have been a little upset with them too. And I still say he won't stand at the waitress butt. He wasn't standing at her butt. She was bad because he took that food.
And I'm gonna call you out on that. I'm gonna call you out on that because you said with your chest up in here that he had his fork and knife in his hand and they took his plate away too early. And when we look back, and y'all have a short, when we look back, he ain't had that in his hand. And yes, he was still, I don't care why you were looking at the waitress. I'm talking to you, and you turn and look at the waitress, and it's a lady waitress walking away. I'm gonna look at you funny.
Turn looking at my plate. I'm looking at my
You
plate.
can't see the
leaving
plate
me.
once she turn her back to you. Okay, you looking at the boo.
I'm
sorry.
looking through her. I'm looking through her to my plate that was gone.
Okay, Superman. Okay, Superman with your X-ray vision.
No, I'm more like Batman. I don't like Superman. I'm Batman. But now I'm looking through her. No,
Batman ain't got no X-ray vision.
He's still the greatest superhero. Well, that's a whole nother story.
Right, that's a whole other story. We ain't going there. But his neck turned. The little that he has, his neck turned.
I want my plate back. No, his body. I told y'all he ain't got no neck. He got a body, so he just do this. This is what he do.
But your average logical thinker, welcome in. First time here. Yes, he is smart. He is in commercial real estate. He does have a reputation out here that we can't be too testy. We can't be wilding out. We can't be doing certain things. Okay, exactly. But there's he's getting a good edit.
And it's fun. Yeah, he is. The funny thing is, why is he always turning out to say the wisest thing from time to time?
Is it wise all the time?
I ain't say all the time. I said time to time. But it is. I do find it funny, and especially in group situations, when things are going down, Chad is the one that say the most logical, that makes sense thing at the table with regards to the relationships. I'm like, he ain't really wrong there. He got a point.
Well, because that's the part that they want us to see. because I'm sure there's a whole lot of conversation at the table, and I'm wondering because again, knowing folks like Chad, I don't know Chad, we don't know Chad. There's usually you're not always that PG when you speak.
That's true.
And
You can tell he's very boisterous when but he
yes.
checks himself.
But I'm thinking the producers are letting some of the non-PG stuff, stay on the cutting room floor. I'm not saying he's being offensive, y'all. I'm not at all saying he's being offensive, but I'm saying some things ain't as always oh so wise one is being cut out.
True. Listen, I guess this is my point. To me, he plays on a certain side of the aisle. My only condition of this is it seems like Belinda is lockstep with that. She plays on the same aisle too. So
yeah.
All of this talk of halfway word about Belinda, I don't think you should be. I think she's right along with him. Whoop.
Yeah, she agrees with him. And you know what? Chad did something wonderful. She sent him to the store to get the loaf of bread. He got the loaf of bread and he brought her flowers. Many a husband, y'all need to recognize what he's doing here. I went to the store and got what you wanted, but here I came with some flowers because I thought of you.
And she's not used to that. That's why she's always pushed back against it. Is Belinda really in the can? I don't know. I just say she's lockstep with him. They think similarly on some things. They agree on certain topics. Does that mean it's going to end up in a lasting relationship? I don't know. We have to watch further. But they seem to be together.
They seem to have the same philosophy on a lot of things.
Crazy. I'm gonna go ahead and say it. Thus far, they're the strongest couple.
True. The only thing I told you all that Chad really turned me off is when they talked about the name change and he said, well, I ain't changing my name to Garcia. I don't look like one. That is the only thing. And that's why I said there are things that aren't like really, PC that Chad would be saying that I think they are letting go and not letting us see. But yes, okay, they're the strongest one. They still need, let's go back to Ari's thing. They still need a visit from the experts. We still need to see that.
I don't know if we're going to get it because they didn't show it. Yeah, I don't.
Because right, we never saw it. I think they did because I don't think the experts will not go see somebody. But I don't think that we saw it because here's the thing: they don't need the experts. They need a dog trainer for that dog because Belinda, again, your puppy barking at him, and because Chad brought it up and said, "Oh well, finally he stopped barking at me." Chad has been counting the days. Okay, he's been counting the barks that this dog is doing at him and not even at the crew who are also strangers to the dog.
I had a statement about that. To me, the dog doesn't need training. The owner needs training. That's usually where it always starts.
That sounds like Love is Blind Sweden season 1.
Oh yeah. yeah. It ain't the dog. It's her and how she's allowed this dog to do this. Okay? You've allowed him to do this. So
that is exactly what we're saying, High Vibe, and Belinda is along with him.
Yes. Okay? She ain't gonna check him because she's with him. Read the tea leaves. She's not gonna check anything. She actually believes in it as well. Okay. And the whole Garcia thing, listen, she probably agreed to the joke. She's like, yeah, you don't look like Garcia. That'd be crazy.
Right. And she doesn't seem fazed by a lot of that stuff. Okay. And remember, Belinda is in a certain tax bracket, or was when she was with her ex-husband, who is also a baseball player, who's also at a certain level. Look at her daughter as well. Ain't gonna be much to say different. Okay. Ain't gonna say much difference, but
they're all on the same wavelength.
Anything else for Belinda and Chad, since you said they are strongest couple?
Well, they're presenting as strongest couple thus far. Are they? Yeah, but they're presenting that way. I thought I had something about Belinda. I think I already said it. Yeah. Oh no. There are times that I will say there are times where Belinda does confuse me because she will, in one hand, give to me the worst mother advice. Like, why are you telling your daughter this? And why are you telling the rest of me this? And then all of a sudden, she say something that's just so profound. I'm like, you probably should listen to your mama. And you didn't. But we get that when we get to Jalen. Like, she tried to tell you, leave it alone, but you couldn't. And you kept pushing.
For those parts, I think it may be Belinda thinking of when she was in those shoes, or like if she was in those shoes. I think the difference is, whether it speaks to her personally or not.
And that is the difference between, knowledge and wisdom on some things.
Right.
Like
right.
This, yeah, your mom, she ain't telling you this for no reason. She see where this is going, and she's trying to give you like, don't do that. Don't think of it in this way because it's going to lead you over here.
Right. No. So since you mentioned that, let's get to her daughter, Jalen. Jalen and Josh this week, they were ticking me off. Okay, Josh ticked me off this week. So this is our 1 month anniversary for everybody, y'all. And then we go into the retreat. But Josh planned skydiving. Remember, y'all, Josh is into the adrenaline stuff. He's into the festivals. And we find ourselves doing, he's pushing Jalen past her comfort zone. Yes, she enjoyed it, but she was giggling nervously and say, this ain't it. This wasn't it. This was not fun, what she thought of as fun. But meanwhile, she wanted him to rewrite their vows together, okay? And he just wouldn't do it. It's silly. I'm not doing it. It took me 4 days to write those 4 paragraphs over there. I'm not writing anything. And Jalen's thing is, you wrote those when you didn't know me. Now you do. Now you can write more meaningful vows that associate with the person you know. And he decided he ain't doing it. Dude, I jumped out of the plane for you. You better get your behind with that pen and paper at that table. I'm sorry. I don't care. You could say, honey, I really, I can't write on the fly. Could we reconvene and, tomorrow, let me think about this overnight? Do what her mama did. I need to sleep on it. Don't tell me no, and I got to jump out of plane and do all these things that could actually physically hurt me, and you don't want to sit and put pen to paper? You got to be kidding me. But they had a sweet moment, y'all, because remember, she's a spin cycle coach, and he actually rented some bicycles for them, and she's like, oh, a bicycle that actually moves and goes somewhere. That was a cute, sweet moment. They had a conversation. They got through the challenges. But no, Josh is on my list. Trey, what did you think about these two?
You want me to get your statements or you get these jokes? I got some jokes for them too, especially Jalen.
However you want to serve it, we eating.
Josh, his slip was showing this week, and it was showing real bad. Okay, like real bad. Part of us seeing who you are is also how you handle conflict. And I'm not too happy with the way Josh is handling whatever conflict or what frustrates him is more applicable. You know what? Put that back up what you're going to have to say, because that is true. But it's also true the other way too. Jada likes things her way as well. The only difference that we've been seeing, she's been bending over backwards in this process to do what, get out the comfort zone and do things that Josh likes. I can almost guarantee you, if they wasn't on this show, they was home doing none of this. She was doing none of this.
Well, she finally spoke up. She finally spoke up and said, I don't want to do your daggone, I put daggone, y'all. I don't want to do your daggone festivals.
Now, that argument, I'm going to be honest with you. You know what? I came to the point I was on nobody's side of this. Okay? I was on nobody's side of this because I could literally see a point on each side of where it was coming from. Honestly, the solution should have been what Dr. P was starting to get to was, hey, Josh, this is something she just don't want to do. Are you fine with just going by yourself? Okay? Because that was my first thing. I think we said that week one, like, bro, she don't want to go. You just continue to go with your homeboys. Fine. Be fine with it. It got deeper. Nah, I don't see those. So I answer that later. It got deeper when we discovered that, probably due to how he grew up in his childhood or whatever, it's how he views that sense of community and that connection, something he really never had growing up. And I was like, okay, this is something different from him, from what y'all are hearing, or from what they were actually saying. Now, this is their words. This is what Dr. Peel pulled out of him. This whole argument about community was.
I understand, but you can find community in various ways. He is very uncompromising in how the view of community, and I understand what he's trying to say, but your community can't be contingent upon a festival. What if that festival stop happening?
And I agree with that. My only, when it came to the argument of community, and this led to an argument that him and Jalen had at the house, at the little retreat that they went to. Dr. P was trying to get them to see, okay, what does community mean to you? Number one, because that's important. And how can we get this sense of community? Well, the main thing was he wanted to build a community with her, which I think is laudable. I want to build it with her, have something going on with her or whatever. It doesn't have to be the festival. Because he said that. That's just what they said. I'm just saying, it doesn't have to be the festival, but what type of community would you want to build with each other? They said this now.
But he lying. He lying.
Of course he is, but I'm just saying, they at least said the words. He wanted to build a community with her. It doesn't have to be the festivals. I took it at grain of salt. So I know he still wanted to go to the Dancom festivals. Burning Man specifically. But at least you got him to the point of saying, hey, what type of community would you like to build with her? They started going after that moment and going into the trip. They started talking about the different types of communities. Jalen views her spin class as a certain type of community. He doesn't see it that way. My only argument was when they got into an argument about it, he was pissing me off, but I had to say this, Jalen, you cannot dictate what type of community that he should be in or he should view as a community. It doesn't work that way. Because God's honest truth, I don't really view her spin class as a community. But I can understand that she does. What I mean is, if I'm looking for a sense of community or something I want to do, it wouldn't be a spin class. That wouldn't be for me. But I'm not going to discount her if that's her community. Like me personally, my community, I used to street race back in high school. So I'm in the cars and car groups and car meets, cars and coffee. I know you heard that thing before properly. That's my jam. But that's not going to be for everybody. That might not be for my lady that I might be with, So
here's the definition of community, okay? Other than people living together in the same space, which I guess is what the festival is for him, because you got to live 7 days out in camping. But other than that, it is a feeling of fellowship with others as a result of sharing common attitudes, interests, and goals.
Gotcha.
So in the definition of community, you may not see it as such, but in definition, the spin class is a community.
To her, yes. That's why I said to her, it's community. But she was trying to turn that spin class into his community. And that was my only thing. I was like, no, you can't do that. If it won't work for him, that won't work for him.
But here's my thing. Here's my thing with Josh. And I understand community is different for him. Here's my thing. It's sounding like a temporary high.
It is. And
that don't last.
And that was the thing that Dr. P was trying to really get at. Why do you view your sense of community this way? What are you trying to fill it? What was missing in your life that you're trying to fill this with? is really what she was trying to get at. And when he started to open up more, when he's like, well, I never played stuff like he never played football, whatever. You don't have mom and dad, whatever. But he was mostly, even though he has grandparents, it sounded like he was mostly by himself.
Right. We learned a lot more about Josh this week. We found out that he would, of course, ride to the state parks. He will be just venturing off on his own a lot of times. He did
Yeah.
not do group sports.
Yes.
So he doesn't view that whole sporting, which the spin class would be. He does not
Yes.
view that as a community because he has not played team sports. But here's the thing, he is chasing that community, but your community only coming together 3-4 times a year.
Once a year.
No, well, I'm saying that isn't the only festival they go to.
Oh
That's
yeah,
the big one he keeps talking about. He's a
that's
festival guy.
what crystallized it for me, that he has a certain skew how he views community, or maybe he needs to relearn what community is, or at least put faith in different type of communities, is when he said he doesn't view hanging out with his friends as community.
I wonder
That
if it's the
told me a lot.
venue. I wonder if it's the venue, because since he said he used to get lost in the state park and be out in the wilderness a lot, I wonder if
Yeah,
that's really what he wants.
honestly, yeah, he likes to be. You know what? I think this is the main reason why, probably why Burning Man and those type of things speak to him so much. He's doing two things at once. Like you said before, you putting people that is of like minded in one spot together, and you're outdoors. You have to, pitch. So for some of them, you have to pinch tents, live rougher or whatever. No, no electronics and stuff like that. You're just living off nature.
Yeah.
It's putting two things together for him. One that he's always done by himself, and the other one he's been seeking for. So when they were saying, hey, there's different type of communities, whatever, this is why I said, I was like, what y'all trying to give him examples of, he's not going to see, because it doesn't speak to his interests. That's why I say against that spin class, I get you, Jalen. That's your community, though. That's not, it can never be his. And especially if y'all going to try and build one together, it has to meet both of y'all interests. Y'all have to find some middle ground somewhere or whatever.
I
Or
want. I
what y'all
want. I wonder if Josh would find interest. Y'all, I really am very interested in how Josh's mind works, y'all, and his thoughts. And Josh, if you ever see, this growing channel, you're welcome here to interview at any time. But I wonder if there's a oh God, there's a challenge where people are dropped off somewhere, and it's not Amazing Race, y'all, but they're dropped off somewhere and they have to
Survivor?
navigate. Yes, not Survivor, but you have a team of like 5 people and you're going
Yeah,
from one GPS spot to another GPS spot,
yeah,
and you have to make it there, and it takes at least 2 weeks to get there. I wonder
yeah.
if he would enjoy something like that,
He would
or
love it.
is it that or is it too rough and rugged, or is it that it's just a festival and the area in which it is, which is the wilderness?
I think he would love it because he loves outdoors. If you notice, a lot of his activities has to do with outdoors.
Right.
I give you case. I'll bring him back up here. I give him case in point. I think Chad understands Josh a lot more. That's why he's trying to give certain type of advice. Chad is an
Yes.
ex-military man.
Yes.
What you just named, we had to do with the military. It was part of our training or whatever. But I ain't gonna lie, I can be an outdoors guy. I've been hunting before. I've been pitching tents or whatever. I'm all the stuff you was naming. Yeah, I can do it already. Am I running to go do it? No, but I'm used to it myself. So I could hang with Josh, and I can make him happy as heck. We could be outside, pitch a tent, go hunting, have our own little community, and he'd be fine. I tell you, he'd be so happy. He would
Oh,
be
Trey,
so happy.
you can make Josh happy. Okay. Okay.
Nah, I'm just saying he would be happy with what I would suggest. But he's
Okay.
trying to find that with Jalen. The problem is they do have different interests. Remember, you're right. That whole jumping out the airplane. I'm not doing that. Okay, I ain't doing that either. But Jalen was, she's been a joke about it, but she was correct. Like, yo, that's not something she wanted to do. You what she said she wanted to do? Have a spa day. That wouldn't work for Josh. Let's say Josh, you know what? I'm gonna give you a spa day. She'd be so happy. He wouldn't be.
And that's where Chad can help him because Chad went for his mani pedi with Belinda.
You know what? And Chad is at the age you can tell he's not a mani pedi person. And God's honest truth, the only reason why he went there was because Belinda wanted to go. That would not be his first choice.
But he's a girl dad.
And that's part of the reason why that's probably part of the reason that has forced him to mature a little bit more. He's a girl dad. So he probably had to take his daughter to do some girl things. You know, so yeah. And he's at an age now, I don't care. Like what? Yes, I'm gonna sit in this tub, rub my ankles, bro.
Gentlemen, if your lady wants to go get a mani pedi, you don't have to get a manicure, but it's nice. You get your hands and everything clean and done. But get that pedicure taken care of, okay? Go and relax. You don't have to do it every time that she goes, but you can go and relax.
You know what? My brothers, it's cool, but I understand, and it really ain't for us unless you really, really like those things. But it ain't for us. We do it because it makes them happy.
Felicia puts it in.
Yes, he has a little bit of experience. Okay, been around this block a little bit. He's like, listen, bro. Sometimes we got to do some certain things that they ain't gonna like. Now, the only thing I'm gonna say this, but I don't think it's gonna be an issue with them because Jalen has shown this. My only thing is, if you got a man that's doing certain things with you and for you, because it's for you and it's your interest, don't be afraid to do some things that's his interest as well, or i.e., actually find out what his interests are.
But we have the opposite here. She's doing everything that's of interest to him, and now we have to write vows, and he doesn't want to sit at the table. Now, I understand, Josh, if you're a little bit slow to get your words together, there are some people who can't think of it on the fly. But I think what a blockage for Josh, and I don't know the man again, I don't know anybody in the cast, is that he can speak very well about how he feels for Jalen. Just write down what you actually say.
I was on the fence about that. Josh was overreacting. Absolutely. I did understand him a little bit because some people are not strong writers, and it was, if you think about it, it was almost a Chad situation. Got frustrated because it was something out of his warehouse didn't want to do, and he lashed out a little bit.
I'm tired. Time to go to bed.
Yeah, same thing. And it never had it. I've been a decent rider, so it wouldn't bother me. But I've been in situations where I felt frustrated, and I didn't want to do this no more. Yeah, but the way he handled it was absolutely wrong. It was absolutely wrong. But I'm also, I know you're gonna like this, I'm also giving a little bit of smoke to Jalen too, because you saw this man getting frustrated with writing this piece. It ain't just like he just know how, he really was getting frustrated with it. This is not his warehouse. This ain't working for him. But you kept pushing. At some point, you got to know when to pull it back as well. But like, oh wait, if my lady, Elsa, I'm Mr. Elsa today. I see something is frustrating you. I can see you making that face right there. I'm like, nah, she's getting bothered. Guess what I'm gonna do? You know what, baby, we can do something else. We can come back to this later, whatnot, whatever. Or I'm gonna take you out of that situation.
I'm trying hard not to roll my eyes.
I know. So don't be a Jalen. Don't roll your eyes at me.
Here's my thing. You saw her as pushing, and I saw her as encouraging him because she was telling him the little that he was going to do would be fine. It would be acceptable.
That part was encouraging. Afterwards,
that's what I'm saying.
Afterwards, it was not.
Trey, I have gone and fed monkeys. I have gone to the Panama Canal. I have jumped out of the daggone plane. I have jumped into the ocean that got sharks. I have jumped into that pool that I didn't want to go into. I have done at least 5 things we've seen And I have now asked you for one thing.
And this is why I
One
say,
thing.
Josh, you was overreacting. Just write some words down, bro. It ain't even got to look good, but but all I'm saying is, in real life, in real life, pick your battles. Brittany mama said, better know when to pick your battles. You can't fight everyone. That was some wise words she said. You cannot fight everyone.
But here's the thing, ladies, and I will say this. Here's where I will give encouragement, ladies. Yes, Josh can survive for 7 days in the desert during a festival around portal potties and having to cook his own food. Many a man can do that. Okay? Put his body on the line? Yes. But then speak from the heart?
It's hard.
It's hard. It's hard for many a man to do that, to speak from the heart, even put it into words. Okay? So she may, to do something like this, and Jalen, in fact, doesn't really know this man. But to do something like this, you would kind of like have to do some cues and some cards and say, when I'll give you a word and tell me a word that, resonates, that you think describes me. She could have turned it into that. Give me a word that you think describes me, describes how, you feel about me, and make it into a game so that he can get there without even realizing he's making that journey. But yes, Josh will put his body on the line, but to have to sit, and he's not a child that's used to sitting and sitting in his feelings even less.
Just going.
He's also a roofer. That is his business model. I'm not saying he getting on a roof, but I'm sure Josh getting on some of them roofs. Okay. There's a physicality to him that I don't think he will sit in the soup of emotions like Chad will sit and get his pedicure done. So you can get him there, but the journey is going to be a little bit different.
The only reason I'll say this as an example, the only reason why in that moment, I kind of understood where Josh is coming from, because I was actually the opposite. Especially when I was younger, I found it was easier for me to write my thoughts down and write things out. Right. It was harder for me to actually speak them and say them out in the moment. This, that, third. I knew even as a young man, I knew that was turning into a deficiency. You know what actually brought me out of that, or got me to try to change that, or it gave me the blueprint to change that? It's funny. It was a movie. The moment I watched Love Jones for the first time.
I knew you were going there.
Yeah, I watched Love Jones for the first time, and that's really what forced me to. I always liked poetry, but that's what forced me to get into it and try to go to poetry shows and jams and stuff like that.
But Trey, we also learned, you shared with us on a previous live about your in school and your challenges with words.
Yes,
so we would know that, your lady shouldn't put that as a challenge for you at all. But you can get there, but it has to be a journey.
You would be surprised. I was in a relationship and they would try to get me. She knew I was in speech therapy, and yet she would try to, in her words, helping. She would try to get me up to go make public speeches or say this, in church. It's little church. Hey, get up and say the scripture. Baby, you're not helping. You're not helping at all.
No. That ain't that. Okay, young lady, and for the ladies who are listening, okay, he don't need to read the scripture. Okay, you will have to find a different way to get him to say, "Oh God," and he will learn to say what you need him to say. Oh God!
Stop it! Stop it! Where's Miss Elson? You getting loose? Tighten up!
In the other room watching the show. You come up here if you feel like it. That's how you get them. They always say, learning a foreign language, you learn the dirty words to help you get the whole breakdown of it. And that is exactly it. Okay, if you want to get to speak, you gotta use the wilds, the feminine wilds of it all. And y'all can call it manipulation if you want. It could be a lesson learned. It could be we teaching something. But the thing is that you don't put someone to publicly speak like that. Okay, you start off with talk to me, and then you take it out in public. But let it be their great idea too, ladies. Okay, you plant the seed, and let it grow.
Say, baby, can I be your slave? 'Cause I'm
Right.
digging like a glaive.
Right. And you can whisper it. Okay. You ain't got to say it loud. Whisper. And whispering means they have to come closer. Okay.
It's
Okay.
just
So
give me
Josh too. Here's my thing. Here's what. Okay, there are two things with Josh. I wondered if he felt abandonment when she said she didn't want to do the festivals, and I know she probably that's why she didn't want to say it. But
yes.
Josh dug in after the experts left. Josh decided to dig in and flip the script, and I wanted to reach in there, like Chris Rock said, and just shake him.
Yes, he needs some extracurricular therapy for real. Because Dr. P and Pastor Cal touched on some things, it got exposed, and they never went in on it. Yes, he feels abandonment after she said she didn't want to do it. You know, because yes, it makes it seem like to him, you don't want me, you don't want to have nothing to do with me, my interests and lights, whatever. Yes, he saw it as abandonment. You know, and at this point stage in his life and what he's been through, I can't say that I can't sit here and say that he's going to be wrong for thinking that. Because that's how he felt. That's what he's feeling. That's what he went through.
Yeah.
You know, he needs to unpack that though.
Grateful one, welcome in. This is the first time seeing you here. Yes, AI can help you write anything. We don't know if she allowed him to use, AI or use his phone. It seemed like a challenge. She wanted to make sure that he didn't use anything other than his mind.
He needs to stay away from that phone. We don't need to be bringing phones into this anytime soon. Okay?
He might throw it.
Man, listen. Oh, my joke now. I'm sorry, Jalen. I gotta get this off. I'm never going to your spin class. You sit here trying to tell me that you can't ride a real bike up a hill and you got us huffing and puffing in class every day? You can't even do it for real? Nah, that disappointed me. I don't know why.
She told you why. She told you why, Trey. He does not change the tension on her bike. So she don't know that uphill tension.
Disappointment. That's all I can say. I was like, why is she huffing and puffing? What's going on? You the spin queen. Nah.
She still is the spin queen.
I ain't never going to her class.
She never said the wheels are actually spinning to move anywhere. She is still the spin queen. Okay.
So she just spinning in place. Ooh, that tells
yes.
a lot. She's stuck.
Yes.
Stuck. Oh, and she's just like her mama.
Oh, she get it from her mama.
She can't let things go.
No. Ooh, neither can I.
That's going to be a problem, though.
Neither can I.
You had to learn to cope.
Oh, yeah.
You had to learn to cope.
Yeah. She'll learn.
She has to, because that ain't going to work. That's not going to work. Yeah, that's going to be a problem.
It is, but you know what? I think for both of them, they have work to do. And I can't say that anybody has more lifting than the other. But here's where I would place more lifting on Josh. He has to learn how to navigate in her space the same way he wants her to navigate in his space.
I would agree to that.
And if I'm keeping on jumping out of planes for you and you can't go get a mani-pedi, you can't write some vows and find a way to get through it, we ain't gonna make it.
You know, like I said, if they weren't on TV, they would have never went up there in that plane.
No.
You know, that's the only reason why they did happen. It was on TV and it was a surprise. So she felt like she had to do it to go. If they, like I said, this is real life, she ain't jumping out of a plane. Half of the stuff she's not doing. But it's because she's on camera, so that's somewhat performative. I'm sorry, it is. But hey, I get it.
Sam says, I can't let it go. It's a Cancer trait rubbing off on you. Sam, no, this is a long-standing Aries trait. We will wait years if we have to. We just have the patience of Job. Okay? We will wait. And sometimes we don't have to be the hand that spins you, but we want to be witness to the spinning. That's it. Diabolical. I'm sorry, y'all. Sam is a long-standing member here, so she knows, with her Cancer self. But yes, he may feel insecure with his ability to write vows and do many other things. He may believe She will be more impressed if he can show off his adventures, risky and daredevil feats. Yeah, everybody's playing on the skills that they have. But
Yeah,
here's one skill. Jalen is willing to try.
I would give her that. Well, uh, I'm 60-40 on that because, like I said before, if this wasn't on TV, she wouldn't have done it. So I don't know how much she's willing to try.
Well, she said it was on her bucket list.
Okay. I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't get that from her. I don't. But for a look and to look a certain way, she will do things.
She jumps into a lake that you can't see the bottom of. That's adventurous.
Yeah.
I wouldn't do it.
I would. Yeah, I sure would. I'm not doing it at all. I don't care what you convince me of that, nothing, whatever. But like I said, she does seem like a person who wants to impress people.
Yes, she is a people pleaser.
You know
Anything else on Jalen and Josh? Because,
just keep it moving.
they got a lot. They got a lot to go. Where would you like to go? Because, Ari picked the first couple and then it led us to the second. Where would you like to go next?
Let's say let's go and hit Derek and the pregnant couple.
Okay, so this couple is expecting. We found out they took 2 tests, and even though they have not been trying, in what world? Even though they haven't been trying to expect, and her mama said she wants a full baby by December. Okay, her mama put it out in the atmosphere that she wants a whole baby by December. So they talked and said maybe if they're together by June, they would start trying, and that's when Derek kind of capitulated to her mama. But it seems to me also Megan said, "I love you" to him, and he didn't say it back. I did not expect that part of it.
I did.
But I did not expect him not to reciprocate that I love you. But she pulled back on those wheels right away when production asked her. Y'all, I have that as a short. She pulled way back. Okay, but she did have some good words and a way she spoke to Brittany and when she spoke to Will. But this couple, it's getting diabolical because Megan, we see in the preview, said just because this baby coming don't mean that we gonna be staying together.
Mm-hmm.
What were your thoughts on Megan and Derek and the whole family visit? Because we finally met Daddy.
You know what? God, there's a lot of thoughts. It's all over the place. First of all, her mom is a piece of work. Lord, this woman something else. But you know what else I saw in this? This is gonna be crazy. You know what? Why do I get the feeling that there's a possibility that Derek is going to be more accepted in that family than her own daughter? Like,
you better preach. You better preach.
Like, yeah, he's it.
He gonna be the golden child.
Telling you, oh, you putting up with her? Yes, come on in. We're gonna keep you. Cause she's still planning dates with his parents. Like, yo, They're doing all. She's treating Derek more like a son now, which I found interesting. Like, like, okay, yeah, this is interesting to say the least. Already want the kids and this and that. You know what it is? I said this last week and maybe a few weeks before. Like, yeah, I did not like the way. Even I said last week, I didn't like the way Derek not kept, but how he brought up the second time of how they're going to look to have kids, this and how they wanted to look at this and that third. But the conversation needed to be had. And it seemed like Megan was always pushing back against it. I find it interesting that a lot of his viewpoints on the family and what kind of a family he wants matches his mom and dad and how they want it as well, not Megan's. So there's 2 things here. Number one, no one's asking Megan how she view family and what kind of family she wants. Number one, and what it seems
or how
like.
much family she wants.
Yes, that's the other big part. No one's asking that. And number 2, Megan's not speaking up what type of family she wants. So what's really going on? Like, I'm sorry, Meg. I already feel some type of way about you, but I can't side with you when you're not even speaking up for your own self in certain situations. Or what you
They're
really
all sitting at the table, and all Megan doing is eating and looking at them.
yeah. Like, but if you feel so strongly about how you want your life to work, you, even if they don't agree with it, you got to speak on it. But you're not doing that.
Is it that Megan doesn't feel she can challenge her parents?
She probably can with the type of mama she got. But no matter that, you know what? It's almost like she's afraid to get ostracized, but she talks like she wants to get ostracized out of the family. It's weird.
She don't want to be the black sheep. She just want to be the gray one.
Yet she's treated like she is the black sheep. If you notice that, they treat her like she is the black sheep. She's the strange one out the group. They literally treat her that way. So I'm like, okay, what? This is, you know what, Megan, you got some issues you got to deal with your family folks. This is what's going on here. It's weird. I don't know. So it's a little, and you know what? Both of y'all can kiss my butt. You cannot sit here and tell me, oh, we really weren't trying. Bruh, homegirl, if you are having unprotected situations going on, shooting clubs up, even if you're shooting near the door, guess what? You were meaning to do what you meaning to have. You know what? You say they weren't trying. If you're shooting the club up, or if you even shoot somewhere near the doorway, you're trying. That is trying. Okay? It's trying. Because that's what happens when you have intercourse. That is the possibility.
No, as I said in my recap, no contraceptive or condominium is 100%.
It's not. But they already said, according to her, they were having unprotected sex.
Yes, she did say that, which I found wild. Wild. Wait a minute. What are we doing? This is 2025, or when this was filmed, 2024.
You know what? I'm about to make a bad joke. She's doing the thing that Brittany wants when we get to them. We get to them in a little bit. She's doing the
you want to be well respected, but you're taking these kinds of chances. Or even if, and I will give the grace of this pinch of salt, even if, sometimes, ladies, we freeze our eggs, or we, think about, having kids in a different light, if we told it might be difficult. Okay.
Yeah.
I wonder if she thought it might be difficult. But then Derek swimmers are in that plunge pool, they flying. Okay.
There's a difference. Was she wondering or was she told? I would like to know, actually.
No, that's what I'm saying. Maybe I'm wondering if maybe she was told it may be difficult. That is one way. I'm not saying it is the way for her. We don't know when she decided to freeze her eggs. We don't know when she froze her eggs. We don't know what age she made that decision. Yeah. But no matter what, even if it is not making new life, there's other things. Okay. There's other things. And because this show don't do background checks real well, ain't no way. Ain't no way. Ain't no way.
I personally think they do background checks perfectly. It's the way they want it to.
Well, yes, the way they want to. But then again, if you doing other, medical checks, still.
Well, yeah, they have to do them. At least they have to take STD tests and stuff like that before they come up.
But it says 36 days of marriage, Trey, when they showed up and told us that they took 2 tests.
This has never happened before, has it? We never
Not
had.
That we're aware of, because everybody else, ain't trying for it to happen.
Yeah, this never happened before. This is a little bit strange. I'm like, okay, all right.
But how am I ODB, baby? I like it raw. Why am I doing that with someone who is a stranger and I don't know if they're going to be with me for a long period of time?
Yeah, you know what? A part of me wants to agree and say, yeah, that's weird, but given today's society, it really ain't.
I understand they're married. I understand they are grown folk and they are married. But I'm married to someone I don't know.
Yes.
I don't know. Ladies, we know we're putting our life on the line to bring life into this world. She knows, Megan knows, she's the one that keeps this in the forefront. I may have triplets just to get it all done at one time. She's afraid of the pain. Yet you put yourself in this position. Both of you put yourself. I'm not putting him off the hook, ladies. Both of y'all put yourself in this position.
Yeah. You know what? Yeah, he can't be off the hook, but also it's one of those things where at least from his standpoint, he definitely wanted a child. She's saying that she wanted a child. Well, here we go. There's a child. But no one actually asked the question. What Dag has tried to ask this question. Dag has tried multiple times to ask this question. What type of family are we really looking for here? How does this look? How many we want to have? This and that and third. Now it looks like by coming forward, that answer is really going to come to a head because I think it's vastly different how they view it and what she really wants.
And we're in Texas, Trey.
Yeah. You know what? I know we don't want to jump ahead, but I think this is the reason why I wasn't, even though I didn't like it, I wasn't too upset with the question of his friend asking, does she even really want kid? What's really going on with her? What is her thoughts? Because I felt the same way. Like, what are your thoughts? Because it seems to be all over the place.
Yeah.
And now going forward, you know what it's feeling like? What it's feeling like? She just wants the baby. And it just had to be from good stock.
Is it like her mother? Because she says her mother just wants to buy things for the child, but she isn't an involved grandparent. Is the baby just to get her mama off her back?
I don't know.
We really don't know. We don't know these folks, but these are questions that we have. Production ain't showing us everything, as well they shouldn't.
Yep.
But Megan, we certainly saw a softer side of her this week. She did say, I love you. Megan seems to have turned all the way around. This is a different Megan than this is a different.
I think it's the same Megan because you can tell, to me, it's the same Megan. We just seeing the different facets of her when it comes to different situations.
Mm-hmm.
We can, at least from my standpoint, I could tell she really liked Derek the first time she met him. It was obvious that she liked him. Her only issue was she was not as open as he has been doing this process together. He's just trying to get to know her more. She's been very stagnant on that.
Right. She has been.
So it's her standpoint. Like I said before, I was not surprised that she said, "I love you." I always, to me, the way she was acting, I knew she was falling faster than he was.
Oh, I knew they were doing the dirty because ain't no woman flipping out on you like that unless y'all bumping gums.
That and she was falling for him at the same time. She was falling hard. So I knew she was falling hard. But I knew Derek wasn't as far as she was because even before he got married, when he used to talk to her, whatever, he mentioned it twice. Once this episode and once in the first episode. He said, it has historically taken him a while to get to I love yous, whatever. He likes to be in a relationship and get to know that person first. He said this. So for him to even get to the point of saying I love you, I wasn't surprised. He acts like it.
Well, because he traveled all over the world and he didn't stay in one place too long.
Not only that, funny thing, him and Will have the same mentality if you haven't noticed. Him and Will have the same mentality of how they look at things. So it's surprising to how we view them vastly different depending on the partner you're paired with.
Well, it's also their behavior pattern because I don't see Will doing as much for Brittany as Derek is trying or accommodating to Megan. Now, yes, to go to Africa, I was going there next. What did you think of the pranks?
You cannot be out here pulling pranks and then hate the fact that the prank's been pulled on you. Okay? That tells me you don't have a sense of humor, Ashley. All right? That's just point blank, period. You can't be out here getting upset when you pull pranks on the whole house and it was your idea in the first place to do so. but you want to get mad because they threw some water balloons at you.
Well, I'm mad because one, my prank didn't get anybody all wet. Okay, that's one.
Whatever. I don't care.
But two, Derek,
Can't
you
take a prank.
ran. You left me. You left me, and I am with your child.
Go ahead and get your ear shot. I got a rebuttal for that. Go ahead and get it off. Get it off. I got a rebuttal. Get it off.
I am with child for you, Derek, and you left me to take the hits. You ran around the side of the house. Then you figured, oh snap, I left her, and you came back. You didn't even try to block me.
You got it?
Your first instinct is to run from me.
Uh-huh. You ready?
Hey, Easton.
You ready now? You ready for this? I'm about to
go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Megan is Derek probably needs to run now. Megan is a dangerous person. Let me tell you why. Okay? You cannot. We saw this with another person on another show. Do somewhat the same thing or set up the same scenario. You can't cause a situation and then get us both in trouble when the heat comes. You're gonna sit. You see people coming at you. You're gonna sit there and let them shoot you up. No, Megan, you should have got your butt up and ran too. But no, she sat there expecting Derek to sacrifice his life for her.
For them.
Yep. Her.
She is with child. Them.
It was going to be her whether she was a child or not. It's for her. Come here. I forgot what show I saw this on. That you come and die for your queen. That's basically what she was acting like. That is who she is. Come and die for your queen. But no, she's gonna sit there and let herself get shot up when people coming at her with dangerous things. No, she's dangerous. That is dangerous. Get your butt up and get the running with me. I'll protect you.
But if I run and I slip, it could be dangerous. I understand why she wouldn't do it.
I'm running with you. I got you. But you're going to have to get up and come. Okay? We're not going to sit here and there's a gang of people with water balloons coming at us. Come on, baby. Let's go. Who sits there and let people come at them?
Because I don't want to run and slip in the grass.
Die alone.
Dang. Dang. Dang.
Listen. You would listen. Elsie, if your husband, dangerous people coming at y'all, and your husband you see it. You see them, you see it. You got, hey, babe, I think we need to move. And he just sits there. I guarantee you,
he didn't say we need to move.
No, you say
Derek,
it.
Derek didn't say anything. Derek just ran.
First of all, Dad might got a little soul brother in him. Because when one person get up, we on live right now. You let something else, you get up and start moving around now. See what I'm gonna start. Oh. I'm gonna start moving around too. Like, let me get away. Nah, you should have been moving. Your man is moving for a reason. You need to get up and move with him.
Go.
Yes, just sit there.
Felicia H is taking us right back to it. Yes, her parents' house is absolutely gorgeous and beautiful. Absolutely.
Give me a minute. I gotta get my light. Give me a minute.
I know. We see you getting, further and further into the realm of darkness. Yes, her parents' home is absolutely beautiful, absolutely awesome. And when they said, with the kid number, and the friend is like, "Oh, you all want extra kids? Come over and babysit. We'll give you extra kids now." I thought that was hilarious because, Derek is saying all this thing about having 3 kids. Has he been around a whole bunch of kids? Has he been, responsible? Has he babysat a bunch of kids? 3 or more, so he can kind of understand and know how to handle it. Even though he says he wants 3 kids, are they stair step? Are we taking gap periods? What are we doing when we have these kids? But Cheryl Davis does agree with you. When you see somebody run, you run too. But it's like, where's he running to? Trey and I ain't even in the same state. Where he running to? He might, as he say, he might shake in the chair. But hey, but with my fear for Megan and Derek, and especially for Megan in this stage where we are, they are in Texas, and she is with child, and I hope everything is wonderful and healthy for her. But it's the state of Texas. I'm scared in the state of Texas, especially for a woman with child. But hey, my fear is, one of someone that I don't know Megan's situation. And by now, this is probably why we don't see on social media. By now, since this was filmed last year, 2024, she would have had the child already.
Is this a? I was very careful how to bring this up, but could we potentially be looking at a situation where, given the context, what we're going to see coming up, could this potentially be a situation where Derek doesn't want to have the child if they're not together? But she's talking
Derek,
like,
yeah, Derek's talking like, how could we not say yes on decision day when you're having my child? Girl, Jodeci, girl, you're having my baby. And it's like a dream. He's sounding like that. That's what I'm hearing when he
yeah,
talks. Forever,
but
my baby. Okay.
I'm taking it further, especially you say we in the state of Texas here. Like he doesn't want to even have a child if he's not with her in a relationship or whatnot.
He doesn't have a choice.
I know, and that's where
And
I'm
neither
about to
does she. Y'all, neither does she.
but but it sounded like this is a choice. I don't want to say this. It's almost getting to the point of it's just a choice that she wanted in the first place. And could this be a situation where Derek may feel like he was trapped into this, which I don't think. Either way, bro, you still take culpability to this because you shot that club up, okay? But I'm just, for the sake of argument's sake, I'm just saying it.
You cannot mix baby batter and be surprised that there's a baby.
And that's my
I mean,
point.
that's the easiest way of saying that.
And
You
that's my
can't
point.
do that. So he is hopeful that they will be together and be married and together having their child. But they could, as Megan says, and this is what Trey is saying in the previews, Megan is like, hey, we could co-parent.
That's crazy.
And in the state of Texas, child support is where it would, benefit Derek. That's why Primetime stayed in Texas. There's a cap on how much, can be paid in
Yes.
support. I think
Yes.
it's like 250, 300 a month per child. I mean, it's wild in Texas. So I wish her the best. I hope she had, as I said, by this time she's already had said baby. I hope that their family is intact and everything is wonderful. I hope Megan, I hope she had a pain-free birth, because we know that is something that she was concerned about. But for this one, I have good hopes for it. I just wish Derek would just pace it a little bit better for her. But the whole "I love you" and he didn't say it back right away was a concern. But at
It
least Megan is
shouldn't have.
she's in a position right now where she's helping Brittany, and she's also able to speak to Will. Whether Will listens or not, I don't know.
The whole "I love you" thing, I don't. I'm actually glad it turned out the way it did because I'm actually glad he didn't say it in the moment back because even I looked at his face, it would have been false.
Right,
It would have been a lie.
right.
And and yeah, I rather deal with the truth than blankly lying to my face about something. But I think he was very honest when he said he knows he's falling for her. He
Yeah,
feel that he's falling in love. It wasn't equal to love yet because usually
right.
he takes his time with that.
Yeah.
But for her to say, I'll be honest, for her saying it so fast, you only a month in, that concerned me too. Why are you saying you love this man?
It concerns me that we already with child. Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. I live in Texas. Depends on the salary. Okay. She gets more than 300 a month for my daughter. Just FYI, sis. Thank you so much. Whoop whoop. I know your name behind the scenes. But good to know. Good to know that Texas has changed some rules and regulations. And Derek, hey, Derek is a whole COO of his own holistic company. So we shall see what that means for him and his business. But he is hopeful that they will be together, and I hope that for them and their family. But hey, if it don't work out that they're together, they just need to raise a healthy family. That's it. That's it. But I wonder, can we sue the production company for support too? Since I wouldn't have been expecting if you didn't put this man in my bed.
Nah, they ain't gonna do that.
I wouldn't have
Because
known this man.
you know what's gonna all come back to? Y'all chose to have the unprotected. Okay? when he tell you to hop and jump on his, we just listen, we just put y'all together, see if y'all can work out and have a marriage together. Okay? That's all we're responsible for. Anybody tell
Hey,
you to hey, anybody
I
tell you to
need
do all that?
I need to run that by our good sis Simone Redwine on her channel. Girl, is that legal? I need to run that by her because she in Texas. I need to know if the production company can be held liable for this pregnancy.
It ain't gonna work. It ain't
Okay, who should we go to next?
go ahead, hit the other old couple up. Cause
Oh
I feel like they're gonna
Lord.
be quick. They're gonna be quick.
They ain't gonna be quick. I got lots to say
Oh,
about them, even though
woo.
they were quick. This week, Pat and Rhonda, we already have issues again. We're on our way. Pat is driving to the burial site of Rhonda's dad, and she's hitting him with her entire life, childhood story, and everything in between while he is driving. And we can look out the car and see that traffic is he need to pay attention to. Okay, so he's not catching on to everything and he's asking questions for her to repeat, and she's getting very mad. She also asked him if he would like to say a few words to her father. And he said the best thing that anybody could say, it's nice to meet you. Okay? Whether he said more or not, or we didn't see it, hey, he said something very polite and gave her space. And she got very mad. And he was able to pull over the car on the way back and say, hey, I don't like how you scold me. I feel like you're always evaluating me, and I'm doing the best I can. Rhonda did, turn around and apologize and understand this is where it's coming from. But they did not go on the retreat, y'all. They did stay back because Rhonda had a family vacation with her kids and grandkids planned. And as a wonderful husband, Pat went with her for that trip. And they still had the same thing. Pat, in the middle of her sentence, went to pay for the items that they came to buy for the trip. And she feels like he left her while she was still trying to share. What were your thoughts, Trey? Because I got a lot to say, especially to Rhonda.
Finally got on my daggone nerves. Like she really got on my dag. You know, wasn't that so weird? Do you have anything to say to my dead daddy in the ground? What? 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 Oh, that was just so disturbing. It was very disturbing to me when she did that. And I kind of felt it coming when they was walking to the grave. Don't step on the grave. Stop. I'm like, he wasn't even stepping nowhere near the grave. I'm like, okay, this is okay. And I was like, oh my God, she about to have a whole conversation. And sure enough, she started having a whole conversation. And don't get me wrong, it's been done. Some people do it. I get it. I get it. But it just seemed a little weird. You're bringing your husband here to your dead father's grave. You're having a full off conversation, and but you want him to say some words. What am I supposed to say? I, I'm sorry. I'm sorry I didn't get a chance to meet you, sir. Like, but that's all I could say. Like, and it's a little weird because during that whole conversation she was having about her father, you know what I caught on? She holds some love and resentment towards her father, and it's almost like she was screaming it out. You
Let
know,
me let me let me share it with the chat for those of you who may not watch the show. Rhonda shared that she thinks that why she is irritated by Pat and not paying attention to her, making her feel heard and seen, is that she did not feel heard and seen and chosen by her dad. Her dad wanted a son and he got two girls. And her sister was more like the son that her father wanted. Oh, the mechanic, playing sports, going on different hunting trips and stuff, because that is not what Rhonda was into. But dad did not choose her or did not choose to do what Rhonda liked to do. So she feels like her dad did not choose her, yet she is still choosing him, Trey. Her
Yes.
dad did not choose her, and she is feeling the rejection from Pat, and it seems like Pat is catching the strays for dad.
She's seeking validation and also feeling rejection in the same breath. Okay. I found it interesting, and I had an interesting thought about this. Um she okay, as a parent, I can understand some of her frustration, but I started to look at a couple of different sides of this, right? Because okay, you're a parent. As a parent, you have your own interests and whatnot, this and that, and third. Your child, as they get older, is going to develop their own interests, whatever. You see that your child's interest is not yours, right? Are you going to now force those interests on your child anyway? When she said all that stuff that he did with her sister, she didn't like to do in the first place, but her sister likes to do it, or at least that's the feeling that we got from that, right?
Or maybe the sister only did it because she knew that's the only time she could spend with her dad. She
Maybe,
doesn't
I don't
know
know.
if the sister's really into it or if the
I don't
sister
know.
just did it just because.
Yeah. All we know that her sister was there with dad doing that stuff, and I won't say doted on her. It just seemed like they spent time doing that stuff and got close because of it. But so a part of me is like, okay, as the parent, yes, I think on one hand, he saw that his younger daughter is not into this stuff, this and that third. So I'm not going to try and force that on to her, whatever. Now on the flip side of that, you are still the parent. Yes, it's going to be up to you to at least find some common ground and make sure that child still feels needed and validated, within their own interests, this, that, and third. So there's always a balance of stuff like that, whatever. But the way Rhonda is carrying it is interesting.
Like
It's
High Vibe
very,
said, she's 63.
yes,
This is why we love the more senior or seasoned couples, because we realize if you don't handle this parent wound like Josh has, okay,
yeah.
if we don't handle this parent wound like others on the cast have, you could be 63 like Rhonda and still carrying this baggage.
You know what? And I'm not devaluing what she has gone through in her past relationships at all when I say this. But I'm getting more and more of a sense that Rhonda plays a lot of relationships out in her own head and not in real life. Okay. Um, I get, especially in that second marriage she talked about. For some odd reason, I'm getting a sense of they didn't make a decision for her just to move in with her kid's house. It just kind of happened. She up and moved in with him. It almost seemed like he probably didn't have a choice because she's like, I ain't got no place to go, whatever. So you can come to my house, but then she tried to take over. It's I'm getting that sense from her. The first husband, she just let him lay up for years at a time, it seemed like. And didn't do anything, say anything about it. Like it's weird. It's very weird.
To go to Africa, we are not supposed to be our partner's therapist. That's a different
Not supposed to.
relationship.
It's not.
Okay. And if I was driving, I would be like Pat. If I'm paying attention to the traffic, I can't pay attention to stuff you're saying. I can pay attention to the lyrics of the song that is currently playing. Okay. And you told me you wanted us to pull over at the next exit for us to get some food or the bathroom. That's as much intake as I can have if I'm navigating a vehicle and driving, especially we don't know. This could be a new place that Pat is driving to.
Yeah.
So if you don't know it, and you also paying attention to the GPS, I mean, all kinds of stuff is going on, and now your spouse is telling you these heavy things.
Listen, I have a pretty good memory and I have a pretty good recall, but I would still be asking questions to get clarification on certain things. Now, what just all he asked was, how long ago you say your daddy died? Which I knew the answer because I heard her. She said 63 or whatever. It was a number 63 in there. I was like, okay, but I was just like, all he did was ask the question to get a good clarification when his actual death was. That's it.
Right. She just said it, and she figured he should not only get it, contain it, retain it, and regurgitate it. This ain't how it works, Rhonda. This ain't even how it works at all. Right. She is accusing him of doing what she's doing, talking about herself. And when he tries to connect with her and saying the similar thing, like she found her uncle's Playboy, and he's talking about where he found his dad's. Yeah. This is not about you. This is not about you. It's about me.
Oh my God. It's about sharing both perspective lives with them and trying to listen to each other at the same time. This is called a conversation, not an information dump. A conversation is back and forth. Okay? It's give and take. It's back and forth. I tell you some things. You tell me some things. Oh, we have some similarities here. Ain't that crazy? Wow. Oh, you know what? Mine was almost similar, but this happened to me. And isn't that interesting?
Because she don't want to. Here's my thing. She don't want to take in his information.
Yes.
I wonder, would she pass her own test?
No, she wouldn't.
Exactly. Because if Pat is telling her things and he asks her, and he asks her later on, she ain't gonna remember, retain, or recall. She just wants to be asked about her situation.
Elsa, from what we saw, and we only go off of what we saw. The only time Pat ever really talked about himself in depth was when it was on the honeymoon. And when she checked him the first time, he was talking about himself too much. Besides that, any other time, it's been his own confessionals that we know information about him.
And kudos to her. She did wake up early for them to watch the liftoff, and we found out that was the other thing. That's the other time. The one time he talked about as a child how he get into space travel, being an aerospace engineer. We found out about that, but then she still shut him down because she said, next launch, I want a t-shirt. And he said, oh, like this, I'll get you one. She's like, no, I'll get my own.
Why? Yeah, she's just self-sabotaging. Why? There was no reason for that comment. None whatsoever. It's just a shirt. It's just, that's funny. It was
only 6 months ago. It was only 6 months ago he left the Mets.
It's just a shirt, for God's sakes.
Can he give you a gift?
You know,
can he?
I felt closer with Pat after he told me his story when he was a kid, seeing the first launch, whatever. That was cool.
Yes.
That was cool. That sounded so cool to me. I remember watching my first launch on TV. I thought it was the craziest thing I ever seen in my life when I had a chance to see that. It was like early 90s or something like that when it happened. Yeah, I was like, wow, that's about to go into space. That's crazy. And next thing I know, I'm watching Star Trek.
Yeah, I worked in Florida, and I thought where I worked wasn't anywhere near close to the launch, but we felt it.
Yeah, you won't feel it.
I don't know how people go so close to the launch sites. Because that was a scary thing for me. I'm in the building and we're feeling it rumble, and we are miles from Cape Canaveral.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know how people are doing that. You know,
it's exhilarating.
Closer.
It's exhilarating.
Yeah. Okay.
You ever been to a racetrack before?
Of course.
Like,
but I'm up in the skybox. But I'm not on the ground.
Oh, excuse me, Skybox.
No. Here's the thing. I know what it is to have those horses run by you, all of them galloping, and you close by. And not only that, I'm around a racetrack where the dust is thrown up. It ain't no muddy track.
It's a similar feeling.
Yeah. No, thank you. I did not come to inhale dust. Okay. Mm-mm.
Okay, the dust might be a bit much, but yeah, come on, yeah, lights, racetrack, tires, smoke, yeah, feel the burning rubber.
Well, I'm talking about horse races. I'm not talking about.
Oh no, I was on car
I'm
races.
talking horse races.
Oh, real
See,
horse races.
this
My
is
bad.
how we differ. I'm talking about horses. You
Yeah,
talking about cars. You see,
yes.
here's the problem with me, and I was, I was this close to working at NASCAR, okay?
Oh,
And only because of commute, I didn't want to do it, okay? Daytona.
you probably should
And
have done that.
mhm, and it is an exhilarating feeling, but again, for me, it's the I've seen a crash on track
Mhm.
and things flying, so I'm like, no,
I get you.
I can't be too close.
I get you.
I can't be too close. Just like monster truck stuff, I stopped going because I saw pieces fly in the air and hurt somebody, and it's like, no, can't.
I get
Yeah. But hey, I do hear what you're saying. I'm more talking the horse races, real horsepower. You're
you.
talking horsepower of an engine. Um,
I've been to a derby or two, so I know the horse races. Yes, I've been to a derby or two. Okay.
but yes, it's loud. It's an adrenaline rush. I would more prefer going where the motorcycles go head to head. That's more my jam because I'm a motorcycle girl. And y'all, yes, that's why I have a soft spot for the dude on Ready to Love because motorcycles were my jam. So definitely, I would much prefer that than the car races and stuff like that. But my eldest, he's into F1 racing and all that other stuff. So I'd rather be behind the wheel. That's just my thing. But yeah, to go back to them, yes, I did feel, as you said, closer to Pat talking about how it resonated with him and became his career. And I don't know if he asked Rhonda later on, how old was he when he saw the return of the astronauts? I don't think she could answer that question.
He was like 7.
Yeah. And where did he live at the time when they returned? I doubt you remember that.
Probably not.
So again, that was Hawaii. So I don't think she's listening to him either. She just wants to talk so she doesn't have to listen. And he's hearing and he ain't listening because he doesn't get to talk.
She sucks up the space and she's in the room. Like she really sucks that space up.
Is that because she's not been allowed to speak before?
I don't know if that's true. No, she doesn't seem like the type of you're not going to allow her to speak. And if anything, like she has said before, it's because she spoke too much. Has gotten her in trouble, or she feels like it's got her in trouble because of her boisterousness and she spoke up too much with this and that third. It wasn't a problem till it's a problem. And that usually happens like that.
Right. It isn't a problem until it's a problem. You're right. Felicia H., I don't know about Formula One. He knows.
Yes, Lewis
He
Hamilton is in Formula One. Yes.
yeah. I don't know nothing about I don't know them folks. And we're supposed to go to the Austin race.
Ooh.
And he's glad he didn't because he saw the airport lines.
He might not get back.
But he definitely wants to go to that's his jam. He wants Italy or Monaco, one of them international races to be able to see it. I'm trying to convince him to go to Vegas, okay? I'm trying to convince him he should try Vegas. Start there.
That'd be it'd be local to go to Vegas race school.
Right. And he's over 21. He should have a good time in Vegas.
I've been to the Vegas a couple years ago, actually. No.
Yeah.
It's about three years ago. Actually, I was at the Vegas race.
Yeah, I ain't into racing like that. I used to be into that and ice hockey and all that. I put that away. Oh yeah, I was an ice hockey fan. I had season tickets to the Atlanta Thrashers and took my kids to all the games. Don't. When the Thrashers left Atlanta, I forgot. I didn't have a reason to go back to State Farm Arena. I'm sorry.
All right, ice hockey. That's different.
That's what my cousins always say.
It is because you don't find us that ice hockey games too much.
No, they didn't. I bought like half a row. It was us and I had a friend and her 3 kids. Ice hockey.
Yeah.
You remember New York? We about ice hockey, okay?
Yeah. There's certain, yes, New York, Chicago area, Detroit. Yeah, you're gonna find everybody's in the ice hockey. Black, white don't matter because that's the sport
Yeah,
that's up there a
yeah.
lot.
I
So
think you're judging me. I think
no,
you're judging me.
it's just surprising. It's you being a black woman in the ice hockey that hard. It's
But what
different.
do you say in ice hockey? What do you chant in ice hockey?
I don't know.
Fight,
Oh yeah,
fight, fight.
I watched ice hockey very heavily when I was a kid on TV, especially doing like the Olympics and stuff like that. Whatever. I found it fascinating. I thought it was cool, but
Yeah.
I never wanted to play it. You know,
My
and,
cousins on Staten Island thought I was the weird black girl because I loved watching ice hockey.
it was cool back then. It wasn't my sport, but it was cool. I like watching it. And then yeah, they fought a lot, so that was kind of interesting to see. Like
Yeah, yeah.
it's crazy. They let
We
this
loved
go.
it. We loved it. We're in the nosebleed section next to the people who got the drums and the shell horn. Oh, we had a good time. We had a good time. But yeah, Pat and Rhonda, we need the experts to be there a little bit more and a little bit longer with them because I think Pat is losing his voice. Yes, he did speak up this time with the driving and say, "Hey, I feel like you're judging me and evaluating me." But how many times do I have to keep on saying that? Just like Rhonda says, "How many times do I have to tell you, let me talk?" Pat is like, "How many times do I have to tell you, stop scolding me? I'm not one of the children." So we shall see.
I don't think they're ever going to get on the same page.
Right. And as Felicia H said, maybe Pat can go and ring that ex-girlfriend that he left 6 months ago and say, "Hey, baby, come back. I was a fool." Okay. We only have one more couple to go, y'all.
Oh boy.
Will and Brittany. And this week, Brittany is crying a whole river. Okay. The experts come and they do talk to Will and Brittany and trying to tell Whitney that Will speaks by what he does. Okay. Will speaks through action and she wants to hear the words. Here's my thing. Will's action only comes when she has an emotional response. It's not regular action. It is action in reaction to something that she does. That's my only hang up with Will. But she doesn't think Will likes her. Will certainly does have a personality because it came out with her family. Now, Brittany's family, I love y'all. Y'all were cool in my eyes. And the cousin that was throwing rice at them when they were walking through the house.
Weird.
It was weird, but it was fun, and I had a good key about it. They said, "What you doing?" She's like, "I'm throwing rice." That's right. She wasn't at the wedding, and now the newlyweds are here at the house. I'm gonna throw rice at them. Okay, that I thought was a good thing. But again, everybody's talking about Will, whether he likes her, whether he does not like her. He's not saying, and she's not feeling it. Everybody at the table is telling us. Everybody's telling us this is Will. He is over analytical. He is too much in his head. And Chad told us exactly what we needed to hear. He always gives a quantifying statement at the end when he
Yes.
needs to just stop.
Yes.
We are going to talk about it, Trey. We're going to talk about this house and this apartment. Okay. What happened, y'all,
Great.
is that Brittany says we're not talking about the future. So the experts is like, let's talk now. Where are we going to live? So he said, we could live at your home, but I'm going to keep my apartment.
Mhm.
Okay. That's where he stops and doesn't give a qualifying statement. And that's where we kind of like spin our wheels. So he's later on, he says with the experts there that he's 7 minutes from the airport in his apartment and he travels for work. And also it's downtown. So if they ever go to concerts or need to go downtown, have a weekend downtown, they could be there. He could also say we could rent out the apartment. Now, I don't have a problem with him keeping his apartment. Okay. I don't have a problem with him keeping his apartment. Everybody's thinking he's keeping it so he can escape her.
Probably.
Whether that's true or not, I don't care because you know what? I would not have a problem if they move elsewhere and Brittany keeps her house. We got to keep it even and keep it a buck. Now, I need to know the reason you keep in that apartment and we need to agree to it. Are you open to renting it out to a renter and being a means of income? We need to talk about it. But I have no problem with either party keeping their apartment. What did you think? Because Brittany finally said to Megan, I don't think he likes me.
Will, I'm gonna say this. Will has Brittany pegged. Okay, he has her pegged, and half of his reactions is because he has her pegged. You know, I'm gonna start with the easy answer. Okay, does he like her? I'm gonna put it on the scale. On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 meaning he like her a lot, 1 is 0, whatever. I'm gonna say when they first came into it, I think he was at a 6.6 to a 7 on the like scale. Within that first week and some of the weeks following, it kind of dropped down to maybe a 5. And it dips to a 4 a little bit, but 5. I think a part of him still does like her, but I think a part of him is also analyzing her and viewing her as too emotional at times. When he's looking at her, he's thinking and analyzing her critically. He's like, yo, I like her. She's cute. I'm attracted to her. She's cool. But she's way too daggone emotional at times. I can see the calculation in his eyes when he's looking at her in some aspects. I think, and when I'm talking this, I'm not caping for Will. I'm just explaining how he's looking at this. Because I can be analytical at times. I just knew when to pull that back. When he's looking at her, it was very telling. It was very telling when he said he finds it difficult in navigating her emotions. Okay? Sorry, ladies, but that's the realest thing he has said all season because we have seen it ourselves. This girl is emotionally all over the place. Okay? She just is. Sorry, she just is. I would find it difficult to manage her emotions. I'll probably be like, you know what? Nah, because you have no emotional regulation within yourself.
I would find it difficult that you are still wanting to sleep with me, meaning Brittany wants to still sleep with Will when they had a little bit of scare with their first intimate encounter. So much so that Will's like, I need to pull back. Maybe we need to take intimacy off the table. But now it's almost like she had a tantrum that he took it off the table.
I got an answer for that. And it's a 2-parter. Both of them, one you definitely ain't gonna like. We kind of brought this up. I think we brought this behind the scenes, whatever. Like, listen, she's borderline female Edmund in this. That's number 1. She's borderline female Edmund in this. Okay. Right. Number 2, I see her as potentially. I don't know about this fully, but I thought it was telling how we met her families. I find this dynamic very interesting. It was very telling of how. Well, I'm saying, okay, she could be in the same situation as Megan is. Ooh, you brought somebody here that we like. No. We taking you. Forget her. We taking you. Because I find it very interesting. You come and meet the family, whatever, and I don't think he was putting on. He was having a good old time with Mom Dukes and the sisters and the rest of cousins and all that. He was generally having a good time.
He was out of his shell.
Yeah, he was like, oh, it's good. Hey, let me get that chicken. Y'all keep talking about the chicken. Come on, bring over here. No, he was generally having a good time because they're not a stick in the mud. Brittany is, okay? She's a stick in the mud. You know, she's very critical. She gets in her own head. She also overanalyzes everything, but from an emotional standpoint. You know? So,
I don't think that cousin could throw rice at them in her house.
Oh, heck nah. What? She didn't have an issue. Not in my house. How could you do that? You're going to pick up every grain of rice real quick. You know, I would not be surprised if you hear statements from her given from what she has said about her own past. Okay, I wouldn't be surprised you start hearing statements from her. I'm never going to find somebody like this again. This is it for me. Sounded familiar, huh? Because she's given that.
She
Like
is.
she's been given a will. He looks good, got a decent job. You know, he must be giving her some type of good lashing. You know, and and if you think about this now. She doesn't have an issue. How can I say this? She doesn't have an issue with his personality per se. Her issue is she doesn't know if she likes him. If he was more focused, say, no, I like you, all of his little personality quirks, she won't have an issue with.
None. She wouldn't
At
have a
all.
single issue if he gave her at least a little bit of crumbs. And I wonder because he says things that takes her up there. And she said it. He takes her flying high, and then all of a sudden she comes crashing right down to the earth. And I'm like, I wonder if Will understands, and y'all walk with me with this. I wonder if he understands if I do too much, her head is going to be in the clouds and she's going to be flying
Yes.
on cloud 9.
Yes.
I need to make sure she stays on the ground because this may not work out and I don't want you crashing out.
He is managing her expectations.
Yes, and her emotions. He's trying to.
Yes.
Because what is the one thing he said she could work on when she's like, I'm perfect? I know I'm not perfect. He said, navigating your emotions this morning, I didn't know what to do.
And he was right. Listen. I know Will comes off a little stagnant and, impersonal, whatever. Yo, he is dealing with a girl that he is trying to find a balance with. Okay? And she has no balance. Okay? She has no balance within herself. Because, and she's also a pusher as well. You tell Will is in classic Mendham. We don't want to cause we like peace overall. We don't want to cause a situation where we know it's going to cause an argument that we may feel like it's for no daggone reason. Especially you bring up the fact, hey, what is something about you, that I might not like this, that, third. He's like, in this moment, I'm cool. What you mean? Good, everything, whatever. She kept pushing. He's like, all right, this morning, you was in a bad mood. I didn't know what you was in a bad mood about, but I knew I had to spend time to try to coax it out of you to see if you're in a bad mood and see what I can do about it.
And if I'm the cause of the bad mood.
Exactly. What was her response to that? She got upset after you asked him.
What's wrong with me?
Exactly. And honestly, I can see why he didn't want to bring it up because it was actually kind of small in his eyes. It's like, it's not a big thing.
Right. But I got to find something. And Blazing Saddles around here, welcome. Around here, we do agree with you.
Yes.
The fairy tales have messed up many a ladies and many a men and their expectations in a relationship.
Yeah. She has expectations and assumptions of how things should go and should be. And I'm gonna be honest with y'all, those of us that's been in relationships long enough, you know how to kill a relationship so fast.
In the relationship.
Yes, expectations can be good. They also can be a killer in relationships. What you really have to navigate is how to deal with your own expectations and the expectations of your partner as well.
Well, that's what he's trying to do. That's what he's trying to do. He's trying to navigate this. And just like she's finding no purchase, meaning no solid ground with the fact that he seems very stoic and unemotional, he's not finding solid ground with her being so emotional and overly expressive. So they're both having the same challenge, but they have to navigate it differently.
Yes. His main issue is he's too in control of his emotions.
And he expects her. His expectation is she has the same.
Yes. Yes. Yes, it's weird. But it goes back to what I said earlier. He's got her pegged. He logically figured her out that first week. But what's going on with her. But I think it's telling, and I believe him actually. I think it's telling when he says, if you ask me right now, the answer would be yes. So, but he said, yeah, I can't tell you it's going to be yes in a couple of weeks. I know that wasn't nice to hear, but it was the absolute truth. Because you don't know what's going to happen a couple of weeks from now. You just don't.
Now, Joanna, thank you for this. Before wrestling, she said he always surprises her. I think he's a man of actions and not words. And not only that, actions and words, we see here with the wrestling and the whole plan, it was his idea to surprise. That's what they said. Okay.
Yes.
His idea for this. And yes, the show got the champ. I wonder if they knew the champ that she was fond of, or if Will supplied that information. Because here's my guess, that Will is listening, as you said, analyzing, and he's storing information the way Rhonda would like Pat to store information.
Yes.
And I think his action is, I remembered you love this. I remember this is a pinnacle moment in your childhood. And that's why I want to make this special. And he was wholeheartedly in it. If you realize, y'all, in the wrestling, he was throwing himself down. He was, he was physically doing all of the things. Now I can't wrestle with Mr. El Cid. He is a state champion. We ain't doing that. But my eldest was county champion in his middle school with wrestling. So I know the actual sport of wrestling and the point system and stuff. But they were having a great time.
That was fun. I had fun watching it. Because I was in the wrestling world. I wrestled in high school actually a little bit. And I watched wrestling when I was a kid. So I saw Mark Henry. I was like, that Mark Henry? What? Yo, is Canetta spending money for? She got Chris Paul on this show. Now you got Mark Henry. What's going on here? What's up? Now, I ain't gonna lie.
Music. They're spending money on music.
I ain't gonna lie. I felt better about the Mark Henry plug than the Chris Paul one. That's crazy. I felt like I was like, that's Mark Henry. I got excited.
Because one is a legend.
Yes. World's strongest man. And that's outside of wrestling. He actually the world's strongest man. Come on. It's cool. And he was cool with it, teaching some things, whatever, have a good time. He did a little elbow drop, the stomp out, whatever. Will sold it, got to sell it.
Yes,
it was great.
It was wonderful, and he had some words of wisdom for them too.
Yeah,
he said, like wrestling, you got to work at this. Y'all make a great couple. Whatever with the y'all make great looking babies, whatever. But he said, just like wrestling, you got to work at it. You got to train. You got to keep at it. So again, I saw a different Will in that, and I saw a different Brittany because she wasn't in her head.
Yeah,
and he was more expressive. He wasn't analyzing everything. So if these two could get a little bit out of their head, I'm not saying it's going to work, but certainly for their next relationship, it certainly can help them. Definitely can help them.
I think that's the Brittany he likes. And I think he gets that Brittany a little more behind the scenes when the cameras are not there. And that's the Brittany. He's like, yeah, if you ask me a question right now, the answer would be yes. So that's telling me, at least from his own words, like, hey, yeah, I like you. Here's the thing. She's looking for the actual, I like you, I'm in love with you. But like Derek, she's not a person who's going to say it right off the bat after a month of knowing you.
Right.
It's not good. That's logically, that doesn't compute. Like, no, I'm not doing that. If matters of fact, if you notice when him and Derek was talking, this is why I said I think it was a good thing Derek didn't say I love you right in that moment, but I think he just relented because he knew he was falling. So he's like, okay, why don't I just go ahead and say it? When he was talking to Will in that conversation, and Derek he wasn't trying to convince him to say it. What Derek said was, I realized that, since I noticed I was falling anyway, after I said it, it opened her up more. And, it just made things better with us. I get what he was trying to do, Well, basically, if he didn't realize he was trying to placate Will and say, "Hey, bro, just say it. You're gonna get the best out of her because of that." That could be viewed a little bit as manipulation right there, especially if you're not truly feeling it like that. Because if you notice Will's face when he looked at Derek, he was like, "Bro, why? Bro, you sound stupid as hell. Why'd you do that?" Because I think in his mind he could tell Derek. Yes, I could tell that you probably feeling for her. You like her a lot. You falling for her, like you said, but you're not fully in love with her yet. So you just said it to placate her.
Right.
And that's the hit I have on Derek with that. I
But
wanted to bring it up here.
Will don't realize that Derek also got, another part of the puzzle with Megan.
Yeah. It's a little different over there. But I'm just saying, it's a little different over there. But
He's taking some full plunges. He's taking full plunges.
Yeah, that's weird. Woo, we ain't doing that. But
what do you mean? Mr. Elson does that.
It's great for him. Mm-hmm. Yeah, not doing that. but I just said in that conversation, Will and Derek do actually think a lot alike. Will and Derek, they think a lot alike. They're actually the same person. It just happened to be paired with different women. So it's showing up differently for them because all the guys are the truth. Yes. I'm noticing people like Derek, dislike Will. I'm like, y'all, they're the same dude. They just have different skin color, but they're the same dude. They think absolutely alike. Because Derek also, he doesn't really speak his emotions that well. He shows them.
He speaks.
Yeah,
he speaks up, though. He does speak up.
A little better, but even then, I'm seeing a struggle when he does it.
Yeah. Well, he's struggling because he don't know if Megan's reaction.
Because he navigates her emotions too.
Yes.
Like I said, they're the same person in the same situation, just with different women. So it shows up differently.
So you're trying to tell Will he needs to handle the lash in order for her to mellow out.
Oh, I don't. You know what? I'm almost on the fence that it may have been a mistake. Oh, I can't call it a mistake. Okay.
It wasn't wise. It wasn't wise.
The only time that I can't say that I don't know about if it was wise or not. It's one of those situations. Y'all both together. You're definitely attracted to one another. Y'all both are willing. It happened. Okay, cool. It's
willing and able.
It's just that in the process of it happening, something happened with the contraceptive. We still don't really know what happened. In. Honestly, I'm still on the side of he. I'm still on the side of they probably was getting it in, and he was like, "Oh wait, hold on, I need to grab the contraceptive, put it on," and she felt some offense about it.
Well, we'll put it this way: she asked for someone. She didn't mind someone who was adventurous, on top of the sheets because she don't get between the sheets.
Yeah.
On top of the sheets, and maybe we were a little too adventurous for her taste. And when we, maybe wild out because we didn't want that type of adventure, was like we're going to take it off the table. Because if I can't have the cake and eat it, for me, I'm thinking something happened with the conundrum. Because of how they say wig out. Hey, Jenny O, will breadcrumbs her with his comments and actions. He does, and she's eating it like it's a full course meal. As I said, he's bringing her down to earth. He'll tell her something that has her floating, and then bring her right down to earth like a wrestling move. Bam.
This is going to sound toxic as heck, okay? And I don't believe in toxicity, okay? I am not that person. But this is going to sound toxic as heck. He needs to breadcrumb her. He needs to breadcrumb her because she's the type of person. She wants something that she herself cannot handle. When you are emotionally out of control and someone gives you that a level of emotion back, they usually don't deal with it well. You know what this equates to? I'm going to go ahead and say it. She wants someone to obsess over her.
I
She
want to
wants,
be your sun, moon, and
yes,
stars.
she wants someone to obsess over her. And I'm sorry. Obsession is dangerous for the person that's giving it, and for a person that always concerns me when you come across people who wants that thing. Like, oh no, I need you to obsess over me. What? No, you got a problem. You got a problem, and somebody probably need to get away from you. For real, for real. That's for real.
You see, that's the thing, because if you don't breadcrumb her, and I hate to use it as an adjective instead of the noun that it is. If you don't breadcrumb someone in this situation, you may end up with a stage 5 clinger.
Oh, she is stage 6. Okay, she about to make a whole new scale. All right, I did we week 1? Did we not? I clocked this and I said she's potential stage 5. You know what? She's a whole new category now. I see it. She's a stage 6 clinker. She will haunt your soul if you allow her. She want to be in your dreams. Don't you leave me ever. Like,
but I wonder how, if and ladies, this is my toxicity, okay? Ladies, I'm sorry. Gentlemen, I'm sorry. This is my toxicity. Trey's toxicity came out, now here's mine. I wonder how you would get that obsession and that stage clinger without the intimacy and physical intimacy.
You know what? Without it, I would say it will only go up to a 3 or 4 because it's something that you want. You want to experience.
But if you're not adventurous on top of the sheets, how can you claim someone and be that clingy?
Well, clingy doesn't equate with your adventurousness.
No, it doesn't. But she has a man who is adventurous, so you got to be able to put your talents into him.
Well, this is a person. Well, we're getting at. It's two different things we're talking about here. We're talking about our personality trait versus a freak level. To say these, she's a prune. Let's just keep it real. All right. Oh my God.
I don't know her level, but she just seen as adventurous as
a prune. Okay. And guess what? The funny thing is, Mega's a prune too. If you remember, when they opened their box, Mega's a prune too.
So for those of you who did not see this week as well, the experts sent them all adult toy boxes.
Mm-hmm.
What Trey is alluding to is Brittany, hadn't used anything at all. And she asked Will, what did he use? And he took half the box out. More than half the box out, and her jaw hit the floor when she saw all the things that he had used in the past.
And the funny thing now, was borderline stuff. If you look at
it was
borderline.
It was lukewarm. It was lukewarm.
Borderline. Okay. What the most risky thing he pulled out that box was maybe the oil, depending on what type of oil it is, what it do.
Really, that was the only risky thing?
Well, no, I mean, I was gonna say the oil and the blindfold, because you could do something.
He had the blindfold, he had the handcuffs, he had the oil, he had the bzz of it all. He had he pulled out another item. I think it was beads.
Now here's the thing. Okay, now that's risque. Okay, no.
That ain't risque. That is mild. That is lukewarm. And maybe
depending on who you are.
Talking.
Depending on who you are. That's why I'm trying to manage. I'm managing. See, people, this is how you manage, okay? I'm trying to manage things because Elsie's going to have to get off the rail, but Elsie's not here right now. Now I have to manage the situation, and Elsie's about to go, woo-hoo! Listen, it depends on who you are. It is. It was very mild. And she all like, oh my God. I'm like, oh, she is a prune, okay? She's had some experience, but her experience is limited. All right?
Well, she only been with people for 3 months.
Yeah. So it ain't been long enough to even have some crazy experiences.
Oh, we have to wait 3 months?
For some people, yes.
Okay.
You know what it's giving? Oh, God. Ooh. You know what it's giving? She used to be a 90-day girl.
Well, we said that before on this live, that she was, act like a lady, think like a man, 90-day rule. And the guys left after 90 days.
Yeah, because of that, probably how she handled herself during that 90-day period. They got it.
Right.
It wasn't all that. They bounced. You
Right.
know.
I mean,
Now she's in a situation where, okay, I got married. So even them getting married, she's jumping out of her warehouse and opening up
earlier.
her, yeah,
Yeah, we know
and
High Vibe. She didn't wait for 3 months. Her relationships lasted for 3 months.
yeah, yes. I'm just using it as an example for the way she's acting. It's giving. She put everybody on 90-day period. They got it. They got out because probably she was still acting the same emotional keys that she's showing here, and they're like, you know what, we ain't deal with this long term. No,
But then
you know,
most people that we know of would then be a people pleaser to do overly a lot to try to keep the person longer than 3 months.
well, that's the thing. No, it's not all her fault. What I'm saying is she just inexperienced for the kind of stuff that she's trying to get. She has no experience.
Well,
Okay.
as Juana is saying, it's
Yes, the
she all over these
fantasy.
soap operas. She watching the soap
Yes,
operas still.
yes. She still watches Bold and the Beautiful. She thinks she Reefer. Like, come on. Like,
Now, why do you know the character's name?
my mom, I watched soap operas growing up. I had no choice. Okay. I had no choice. Yes, no high vibe. She is approved. Okay. She is proved out. She has no experience. She said it herself. She would like a person that has more experience than me because her experience is very lacking. She said that about herself.
I'm gonna need Brittany to experiment on her own before she brings her spouse or anybody else into it.
Yeah.
I mean, we always promote self-love over here. Okay. We always promote self-love. But definitely we appreciate production for leaving the adult toy box opening in the credits for everyone, because we also found out we didn't talk about it with Belinda and Chad, but Belinda said she done used those toys before and that was a phase.
That was
And
weird, wasn't it?
she's done with that.
That was weird, wasn't it? That was kind
Right.
of strange. I was like, yeah, that made me, what?
Now, when she said that, I figured it was probably situational to the man. So when he left, that phase of her life left.
I
I
took it a step
wonder.
further. I took it a step further. You know what? And maybe I'm over, but my analytical brain's over analyzing this, and I can admit that. But you know what it gave me? Remember, she has a history with her husband and him cheating and all this and that third, right? Right?
Right.
It was almost given that she tried a lot of these things to keep her
Keep him.
husband, and it didn't
Hmm.
work. So now she has no use for these things now because in her mind it didn't work.
Right.
So
Right. But everybody, we didn't see Pat and Rhonda open up their toy box.
I
And
don't
we
think we
didn't
want to
see
see that.
Jalen and Josh
I don't
get
think we
one
want to see
either.
that.
I want to see everybody get all the gifts from the experts.
What I mean is, I think Rhonda has a basement. Um, I think Rhonda has a basement,
That's where
and
the plants winter.
and it's red. It's a red room down there. Okay,
That's where the plants winter in
yeah,
her room down there.
she she has a basement with some things in it. Okay, okay, a couple of swings, walls, whips, chains. Yes, it's all red in there.
There will be no Rhonda slander in that regard. Okay.
I'm not slandering. I'm just saying her own words herself. She's experienced these things and she good at it. Okay, so yeah, and remember her husband's looking to have more adventure.
Yes, Pat's eyes lit up with that because remember, he left his first wife after the kids were grown and left the house because it was too vanilla. It was too bland, and he wanted someone who was more adventurous between the sheets.
He
Okay.
definitely got the swirl, boy.
He definitely does.
He definitely got the swirl. But yes, it's the total opposite over there. So yeah, that little box wasn't gonna do nothing for them. She'd be like, "No, I can just take you downstairs." Sure,
Now,
that on TV.
Now, if she didn't think it was unusual for her man was in bed with her wearing a pink lace blouse, pearls, and dangling earring, I will say to go to Africa, yes, Prince used to wear a lot of that stuff too. Okay, but he is Prince. But I have more of a problem with the dangling earring than I did with the pink lace shirt and the pearls. The guys now are wearing a string of pearls. I don't know
She
what to
thought,
tell y'all.
she thought that thing was sexy. Remember when she put that on? I was like, she's like, oh yeah, I'm about to get sexy. I was like, girl, you just got on regular night clothes. What you talking about? What, that was sexy? Inexperienced.
The dangle earring for me is the worst, but yes, the men are wearing a string of pearls. If y'all remember Denver version, Michael was always wearing pearls. His wife too looked at him kind of funny, and he was kind of mid-30s, I think. The dudes are out here wearing pearls and wearing not only that shirt but crochet shirts. It could be pink. He said his favorite color is pink, and he loved her nails because it's pink.
I
So
played Drake. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I do though, but I'm sorry.
and so what? A couple that shares.
I mean, once he started, did not notice the change? The rest of these fools went around on with him. I'm like, this is weird. What's going on? Okay, you know, him and Thug. I'm like, wait, hold on, what? Okay, hmm. Now the rest of them follow suit. I'm not
Oh heck
surprised.
yeah! Oh heck yeah!
I'm not surprised.
Oh heck yeah! Even what's that duo? That I ain't got no type. Bad days too. I mean
Yeah,
the whole mumble rap section.
yeah. They got really feminine.
And that is what they are talking about with Ready to Love and the men in Denver. A lot of y'all are saying the men are acting effeminate. The women who are dating them are saying they ain't manly men. Yes, they've been doing it, Nola, darling. Men are out here wearing pearls. Okay,
Yeah.
they're wearing a string of pearls, like if they, pledged a sorority. They're wearing them.
Yeah.
Okay, but that rate went up, Nola, darling, because we have people like Megan and Derek out here like ODB raw.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like raw. Yeah.
Yes,
All of
yes.
it.
Thank you, Wana. Yes, they are doing it now, and that's why she loses her mind. She thinks he's stylish. She
Yeah.
thinks Will is
She's cool
stylish.
with it. She likes it. Okay. Let that sink in. Listen. I'm gonna say this, ladies. Okay. I'm gonna say this. Most men don't do anything without approval of women. In most cases, what I mean is, how we dress, act, this and that, and third. Trust me, most men ain't gonna do it, and unless a woman is telling them, "Oh, you look cute in that. Oh, I like that on you. Oh, yeah, I like it." So they're gonna lean right into it. If it's look cool and it's accepted, especially from the opposite sex, and you want them to accept you, yes, they're gonna do it. They're gonna do
Um,
it.
Welcome in, and please tell me if I say your name incorrectly. I Akumu. Yes, Brittany does want to be married and in a relationship. We're just saying that she may turn out to be a stage 5 clinger, but she definitely wants to be married. Now,
Mhm.
whether she should be married with Will, I don't think so. If you've got to doubt yourself this much, you got to doubt whether this man really does like you. I don't think you should be staying with this man, because at this point, I'm not going to say he's emotionally manipulating her, but what it is that she's not on an emotional strong footing. Her emotions are all over the place. And as Trey said before, he wants peace. She needs somebody to find someone who brings her peace too. She can't be emotionally, jarring and uncertain around a person that's supposed to be her person. I think I need
And
Brittany to just chillax and follow the process and have some fun and make a decision to go home after this.
on that point, I do feel for her. I will say this: Are we at a point where she and us as the audience as well is not seeing where he's saying that he likes her because it's not the way that she wants to hear it?
Welcome in, Candace K. Yes, she does need counsel. Welcome
That's
in. Yes, we say she. Ari said before that she and Rhonda need to go see the same counselor. Um, Here's my thing, and I started off with that with them. Will is showing he cares as a reaction to her. He's not
Yeah.
outwardly showing he cares without her having an emotional moment. When she is uncertain and it's bubbling up, then he pulls her into hug. Then he pulls her into his embrace. He's not just walking to her and hugging her. It is a
Does,
reaction. So
does he feel
you,
like that might be too much for him to do? Not from him to do, but if he starts doing that, what is her reaction going to be? Is he afraid of that? Just ask the question.
he might be afraid, as you said, she may be a stage 5 clinger, but other than that, you have somebody who's emotionally rocky. He doesn't have to do anything other than truly show some kind of care and compassion. And it's the same thing like he would do with any family member. When you walk in the house, you greet them, you give them a hug, you kiss them on the cheek or whatever. Yes,
You know
he
what
is,
I
but
think?
he's always a reaction or an expectation. The meal, oh, I'm going to lick, I feel like licking my plate as a reaction to her looking at him like, what do you think about the meal? A reaction.
What I can already tell from his standpoint and the problem that I guess in his mind that they're really having, he feels like he is showing affection. But like I said before, it's not the affection that she is looking to receive or the affection that she needs to feel assured and affirmed.
They both want to be affirmed.
Yeah.
He's just the thing is, y'all. I'm sorry, the way they are presented, Will is just as scared as Brittany.
Yeah. They both. Yes. Yes.
Will
Yes.
is just as scared. He just don't show it. It is bottled up
Yes.
tight. But
Yes.
we saw it spill out because when he finally does tell her, and she's like, "See, da 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 da," and he starts to get cranky, it's finally starting to spill out. But they are both scared.
And I think that you just hit the nail on the head. He's scared to tell her what she, when she asks certain questions, like he's not stupid. He can track and see where this conversation is going and probably how she's going to react. So
Are you?
he gets, well, he's about
Go
to ask a
ahead.
question.
Go ahead. Go
No,
ahead.
he's about to ask a question.
Is he trained to be a very good husband? Just hush up and let it happen.
It's kind of funny, huh? It's kind of funny, huh? Real funny. It's kind of funny how you saw that. That this man is doing the very thing that a lot of men were always taught to do. Yet we are in this new age way of thinking. We are asking our men to be more open, more forward with their emotions and put it out there. Then when they are, oh no, that's too much. Yeah, you either gonna get it or you don't. There ain't gonna be no in between. Because yes, I might get on a little soapbox when I say this. Yes, men do tend to be very simple because we like things very simple. We like things to be kind of straightforward. ABC 1, 2, 3. It gives us a sense of purpose in what we're doing every day. This and that third. That does not mean we are simple creatures. We have thoughts. They are complex. Our feelings are very tideful. You know, it can change. But for most of us, we were taught to no. You got to keep that under the surface. You got to keep that. I was even taught by my own uncles. Hey, bro, you always got to show a sense of strength as part of your leadership skills. This, that, third. I had an uncle tell me verbatim, yeah, listen, man, I love your auntie. By that time, they had been together like 17, 18 years. I love your auntie. I ain't never going nowhere, and she ain't going nowhere either. But there's a lot of times she's asking for my emotions and feelings and stuff, whatever. I can't tell her because I know she can't handle it. Whoa. I was like, what you mean? What you mean by that? Like, she can't handle it. She says she wanted it, but I know she can't handle it. I was like, wow, okay. And then I started to get some experience and, saw some of the things that they were telling me. I was like, not everyone can handle those type of emotions, especially within a man that he's been taught to bottle them up all his life. So, when they come spilling out and and he doesn't have the experience to be very concise and straight point, be straight poignant with his wording, it's going to sound jumping up, emotional. Yeah, and now he's out of control.
Yeah. But again, with these couples, people themselves are scared, and it shows in different ways. And we can see the similarities, as you said, Derek, to Will, and it shows differently based on the ladies they have, but they have, emotionally, you know, explosive ladies. But I will say I am enjoying this season. Austin, I thought you were going to be a wet rag like Denver was, but I am pleasantly surprised. I love the fact that we continue to have the more senior couples, because we realize that if we don't handle these, these things, we don't go see that lady, then we can definitely end up being in our 50s and 60s with these issues still affecting our relationships. Is Will autistic? I don't know. I don't know. I would say he's over analytical, definitely. Um, I can say that I used to behave just like Will before actually emotionally expressive. I used to be like Will and overanalyze and watch people, analyze them, judge them, and peg them for who they are and what they're going to do next. So I would just say he's over analytical, and he's very aware. He is the only brother on this show. She's the
He
only
knows.
sister on this show.
He
He's
knows.
very aware of the cameras. And if you look at the show, you see several times that there's scenes that Will looks right at the camera.
He breaks the fourth wall.
Yes, he's very aware. So whether he is doing it to protect her, to protect him, or whether he's given us an acting lesson, we'll find out on decision day. But we know that this is an edited show. We know he is presenting differently. I'm not going to say it's bad. The only thing I would say is they privately need to talk about whether he really likes her or not. Privately. So that Brittany at least can know how she can navigate this. If you're being analytical, Will, here's one thing about analysis. You got to feed it some data. And right now, the data you need to feed is giving Brittany some data, because she's acting up because she has no idea what your process is evaluating and what the results are.
Well, that's the weird thing. I think he's giving her data. It's just not the data she wants to hear.
I don't think he needs to spell it out. She cannot read his mind. He needs to spell it out.
What?
I like you, but navigating your emotions is difficult for me. I've never dated someone who is this emotional. He has to spell it out
like that. But I think he put him. To me, it summed it up when they asked him, when they're talking to the experts. He said, "Do you?" Okay, to your point. Actually, she has been asking him behind the scenes, because he said she's been asking her, what are you going to say on decision day? He's asking him that. I tell you right now, he's getting tired of it. Okay, he's tired of that question. But he capitalized. He encapsulated that answer by saying, if decision day was right now, they would have asked me, my answer would be yes. But I don't know what my decision is going to be on decision day. That's weeks from now. I don't know what's going to happen today now, and I'm not going to make promises to something that I don't know what's going to happen today now.
And because she's an analyzer, she takes all of that data and processes it. You like me today, tomorrow you may not. And that is going to make anybody feel unstable and not secure in the relationship. Will, he ain't new to this. He may not be true to this, but he knew that he is, as you said, he's managing her expectations, and he should have stopped right there.
Elsa, I got it. Everybody gonna hate me for it, but I'm gonna say it. You know what it is? Their situation proves an age-old point. At some point, everyone wants to be lied to.
Of course, you better lie to me, and you better know when and where to lie to me.
Yes, now that's real. Everyone
you better not be honest,
because let's keep it real. He told the absolute truth. If you think about it, yes.
Some honesty is bad for your health.
Yes, but he told the absolute truth. I do like you right now. Yes, everybody changed tomorrow. You might do something to turn me off. It's the
But
absolute
nobody,
truth. Nobody
that's
wants
a
to hear that.
given. That's a given.
And nobody wants to hear it either.
But again, he needs to say it differently. Yes, if I would this was decision day today, yes. For all I have seen so far, yes. When we get to decision day, we will have our final decision. That's it.
That's the
You don't
best.
have to
That's
say
the
it
best
may
way to
not
say it.
be. Don't give the negatory. Leave it
Sorry,
open and
Nola.
ambiguous.
I'm sorry, Nola. You do want the lies, okay? That's no. You want the lies.
You better you better tell
By
me I
your,
look snatched in this dress.
uh,
If you don't want to be
by your
snatched,
yes, by your own answer, you're telling me yes, you want the lies, okay? That's all you just told me. All
the
right?
lies for his self-preservation.
Yes, you definitely want the lie because he's gonna lie when you talk like that. Nah, oh yeah, baby, yeah, yeah. Nah, it's a lie.
Self Trey. But Felicia said, don't be brutally honest. You can be honest. Don't be brutal with your honesty. Okay? Don't be brutal. So
I'm speaking
Trey,
for everyone.
any closing remarks for these 3 episodes? Because y'all, just to let y'all know, we are going to be moving over. We'll be going over to Little Black Book 91 momentarily. He's going to be covering Ready to Love, that first episode.
It's pretty good batch episodes. Very interesting. You know, we got to learn about some couples a lot. And see what happens after this.
We will. There'll be another 3 episodes coming up next week, Thursday. Look out for my recaps, y'all. And we look out for a celebration because we have, crossed the 1,000 subscriber wall. So the channel is fully monetized, and I have all of you to thank for that. Make sure you are subscribed. All of you who are, subscribers. If you are not, if you are a member Mondays, we have a good old time over there. We talk grown folk topic. Okay. It's called Grown Chatter, where it's 18 and over. And if you have the kids around you, please make sure you have in your earbuds. Okay. Tomorrow, I'll be covering Married at First Sight UK at noon with my co-host, JRX TV. Tomorrow at 5 o'clock is unsolicited advice. That's where I bring all the stories from the internet and we give them our advice. And tomorrow, this man done kissed his work wife, and his real wife found out about it. And another one, this guy thinks that his girlfriend is a little too loose. Now, you may think it's because she's too loose and too expressive with people. No, she feels too loose downstairs. Okay?
Oh,
That's just 2 of the things that we have for unsolicited advice tomorrow at 5 p.m. EST right here on this channel. Yeah, it's always a great discussion. Trey and I always, feed off of each other. Okay. But I appreciate all of you, everyone who is new here, like Blazing Saddles and Candace K. And, AI Akum. I'm sorry if I say Akumu. Thank you all for so much for being here. We hope you'll come by tomorrow or another time. But in the week, just make sure you have your notifications on because I may do a surprise live on Tuesday since I am off on Tuesday. Nola, we're going to get there. And members, we have more risque stuff to talk about. And yes, welcome to the newbies. I think I'll give you all that little teaser for tomorrow because that one would hit home. Okay. And we have the nerve to put that on the internet. But y'all, thank y'all so much for being here. And I will see you on the next one.